world in the midst of this pandemic, it's exciting to also enter a new chapter with college basketball. Conference action is upon us. The Lopes opened WAC play last week with 2 wins under new head coach Bryce Drew. But now the Lopes return home, hoping to continue to build on what they've started with the Bethesda Flames in town for back-to-back action this weekend. I'm Kate Longworth coming at you live just outside GCU Arena here on Fox 10 Extra with the Lopes pregame show driven by Nissan. And as we've come accustomed to during this COVID-19 era, the schedule, well, it's forever changing. And so with the absence of a WAC opponent tonight, GCU still staying in action with visiting Bethesda here in town. We've got a lot to talk about after they opened with back-to-back wins on the road. But even though they're not in conference action tonight, the WAC still stealing national headlines this week with some big news. In the word of expansion, the conference has added 5 new members: Texas Schools Abilene Christian, Stephen F. Austin, Lamar University, and Sam Houston State, along with Southern Utah. GCU President Brian Mueller was instrumental behind this 13-team expansion that not only propels the WAC into a premier mid-major conference, but also doing a lot for the spotlight here at GCU for all athletics across the board. We've got a lot of news to talk about. So with that, we're going to bring in the other members of our broadcasting team. Welcome, Barry and Scott Williams. Guys, let's see. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy conference play.
You look somewhat familiar.
I know. I think I know you. I've seen you on TV. And now we're here to talk about a lot. I know we want to get to what the Lopes have been able to accomplish most recently in WAC play. But, man, the news coming out of the conference, we've been excited to see if this would happen, and there you have it. It is now a 13-team conference.
Yeah, Kate, it has definitely added a lot of weight to this conference. And, Scott, adding some powerhouses, at least from that standpoint of really increasing the brand for the Western Athletic Conference. Football returns to the conference for the first time since 2012 for a number of those Texas schools and New Mexico State and Southern Utah. And Tarleton State's going to move in. UTRGV is going to get football. So everything kind of raises the brand. And when that happens, it also raises the brand for all of the Olympic sports as well. The more eyeballs on sports, that's obviously, right, all across the board.
Yeah, rising tide rises all boats. And you remember a couple years ago, I mean, these are not only better venues, but better quality teams as well. These programs, fantastic. Stephen F. Austin knocking off Duke a couple years ago. Abilene Christian's always been strong. So the conference has definitely been elevated. Unfortunately, going to lose a couple schools, but I like the additions more than I mind the losses.
I like the couple of additions that the Lopes men's basketball team had at Tarleton, one of those new schools, along with Dixie State this year. They went in to take on Billy Gillespie. He threw everything at him. You can tell they're going to be well coached, but they come back with 2 straight victories.
Yeah, hard-fought victories. Did a very good job, again, pounding it inside, beating them up with points in the paint and extra possessions on the offensive boards as well. Midgard was an absolute stud out on the road.
Yeah, the WAC Player of the Week, Ashbourne Midgard. He had a very impressive 19 points and 9 boards in the first game, and 18 and 11, the double-double in game 2.
Yeah, he just opposes his force around the basket on his opponents. He doesn't do anything outside of his character. He has good footwork. He rebounds outside of range. WAC Player of the Week, as we talked about it once again already on this young season. Didn't know a lot about this guy coming in. Yeah. Leading the team in scoring, leading the team in rebounding.
He is definitely a force at 7 feet. I believe the height for Tarleton, 6'6", 6'8", somewhere around that. So he had a definite presence underneath the hoop. How about Oscar Freyer in game 2? He hits 4 3-pointers for 12 points in the game. And some monster block he had.
Had some rust on his game to start the season. Well, he has worked all that rust off. He is knocking down shots. He's playing great defense. I like the fact that he's been a leader out there on the floor. He's not worried about scoring, but he can score, averaging about 6.5 points a game. But he does so many things for this Bryce Drew basketball club. They need him to stay on the floor. They're a much better squad when he's on the floor. A couple of these block shots around the rim are totally ridiculous how high he gets up and protects that basket.
That was against Colorado. You remember that?
Yeah.
That was incredible. Yeah, 7 blocks, second to 12 for Ash Midgard in that category. But perhaps are we seeing the awakening of Oscar Freire? New coaching staff, they seem to be really wrapping their arms around him because he's really attacking this new style under this new coach and kind of wrapping his arms around that and the leadership that you mentioned.
Yeah.
We're seeing that finally come out.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing the most of. I think they had that 3-game stretch with, the losses out on the road there in Las Vegas, a close one here at home against ASU. The team could have gone a lot of different ways with a new coaching staff. They required on Oscar Freire there to kind of bring everybody back together. Then they go on the road and they get those 2 wins.
Well, they got Bethesda here because of obviously Chicago State, some issues there and some vacancies. So they want to do the back-to-back. They want to, because Coach Drew kind of talked about that. It is an adjustment with these back-to-backs and trying to get your team ready to go in that back-to-back scenario. Now they got a game against Bethesda. They'll return back here at 2 p.m. tomorrow. So they've got to get into a flow about these back-to-back scenarios that they're facing in conference play.
Short turnarounds. You got to be able to make some adjustments on the fly. We have the players be able to lock in not only at halftime, but from one game to the next. Very important.
All right, that sets the scene, Kate. We'll send it back downstairs to you.
Well, guys, kind of carrying off what you were discussing, the fact that this is a non-conference opponent, but the Lopes obviously want to still stay in that game action. So, Scott, what do you want to see from this team out there? Obviously, you hope there's a W on the scoreboard at the end of this, but what other things do you think Coach Drew is going to be looking for tonight?
Well, I think it's good for them to be able to stay in sort of a game routine, Kate. I think they got to get used to showing up at the arena at a certain time, going out on the floor and working with their shooting groups. Keep that rhythm of what it's like to be able to come to the arena, get that clean uniform on, and get that energy level up to be able to start right from the beginning. They come through kind of just half-stepping. Coach Drew's going to get after them at halftime. You can believe that. He wants to maintain that focus, that attitude, that middle game preparation.
It's good to have basketball back in any shape or form, Kate.
Agreed, and my eyes are on you guys. No half-stepping tonight, all right? All right, we'll see you guys in just a bit at the top of the hour with the call. But for now, we continue here with the Lopes pregame show driven by Nissan. When we come back, Barry goes one-on-one with Coach Drew to get the lowdown.
Grand Canyon University, a Christian university, is one of the largest and fastest growing universities in the country. GCU offers 270 dynamic academic programs with modern apartment-style living, classrooms, labs, restaurants, and more. Located in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona, GCU's vibrant community and expansive campus is ranked top 20 for best college campuses in America. My university integrates the free market system with a welcoming Christian worldview perspective into its academic programs and throughout campus life, so you can put your faith into action and help transform communities. GCU campus students received over $157 million in scholarships in 2020, and many students attend GCU for less than the cost of a state university. Visit gcu.edu/myoffer to see the scholarships you qualify for. Admissible high school seniors can schedule a free visit from anywhere in the country. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu/myoffer.
Kate Longworth, welcome you back to the Lopes pregame show. GCU started 2021 with a road sweep to begin WAC play, and after those back-to-back games with Bethesda this weekend, it's back on the road at Dixie State the 22nd and 23rd before closing the month out right back here at GCU Arena against New Mexico State. You can catch all that action on Fox 10 Extra. But right now, we throw things over to Barry, who sat down earlier with Coach for tonight's game plan.
Thanks, Kate. I'm alongside the head coach. And, Coach, it's been a while since we've been 6 feet apart here at GCU Arena. And it was a while between games for you as well, some close to 17 days, I guess, before you traveled to the road to Tarleton to take on the newest member of the Western Athletic Conference. And you came back 2-0. Nice to see.
It was nice. It almost feels like a whole brand new season, being back after such a long layoff. But we're excited to play at home. It's been a month. And was really proud of our guys. We didn't have a lot of practice time. We had basically all of our coaches came down with COVID, so it was a little mix and match trying to get people at practice, but really credit our players. They worked hard, they stayed in shape, and we were able to go on the road and get 2 big wins.
One guy I have to talk about is the WAC Player of the Week, Ashbourne Midgard, again putting up some big numbers at Tarleton.
Ash has been fantastic all year, and he picked up, right where he had left off after that 17-day layoff, and he was really big on both sides of the floor. Offensively, he leads the country in field goal percent, but then defensively, he had 5 blocks in that second game, and so it really showed the versatility, how he can play on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, overall 12 blocks, leading the team with points and rebounding is Asborn Midgard. A guy that we've been waiting to see perhaps kind of burst out on the scene. Certainly had an awesome block in the game, had 4 threes in that second matchup, Oscar Freyer.
You know, so happy for Oscar. Anytime you take a year off, it takes time to get a rhythm and get it back. And we've been talking to Oscar about that. There'll be some ups and downs, but once you catch your rhythm, you're going to be really good. And hopefully, this is the start of great things to come from him. 4 big threes, and he played a lot of valuable minutes for us on the defensive side of the ball. And hopefully, again, this will ignite him to play basketball how all the Lopes fans have seen him play through the years. And that year off, again, it's not to be underestimated. It takes some time to get a rhythm back.
Talk about ignite, and a guy coming off the bench definitely ignited the team. Had 14 points in that opener, 11 rebounds in the second game. Gabe McLaughlin.
Gabe was fantastic. He brings great energy. He brings great enthusiasm to our team. And what we loved about him is defensively, we played man and zone with him in the game, and he was able to go from guarding quicker guys on the perimeter to then being bigger in the zone and using his length. But we love his athleticism. He had a couple, fantastic athletic finishes at the rim, made a three-pointer. And, if he can continue to improve like this, he can be a force for us, not this year, but also in the future.
What was it having the back-to-back in the scenario and trying to kind of rebound after playing pretty hard in that opener to come back one night and come back and do it again, all over again?
You look at it on paper and it doesn't look that intimidating. Before the game, I went up to Billy Gillespie and we were talking, and both of us were like, man, this is a lot different than what we thought it was going to feel like. We really don't want to play each other again this second night in a row. It's just different, especially when it's the same team and the same opponent. But it's something we have to get used to, and it's something we have to adjust. And so I think each time out we'll learn something. Like I definitely learned, from that second night out, just how your approach, is a little bit different. Maybe your game plan needs to be a little bit different. Just teams adapt well to each other when you play that many minutes against each other.
What did you see from Ollie Laver in the 2 games? His numbers weren't real strong. Certainly moved up in the all-time scoring list to number 4 overall in GCU history. What do you see from the other big man?
We all know Ollie scores the ball exceptionally well, and we're not concerned about that. He's going to continue to score the ball well for us. He had some little nagging injury that he went into this game with, and he's had a great week of practice. His attitude is second to none. Just extremely fun to coach, and we expect him to go out and be Ollie tonight and for the rest of the year.
Yeah, you got back-to-back against Bethesda here out of California because of the schedule and the vacancy left by Chicago State. But again, you're kind of getting into this back-to-back rhythm, right? Making sure the team's prepared on back-to-back days, and really less than 24-hour notice with a 2 p.m. tip tomorrow.
Definitely trying to get into that rhythm, get them more used to doing it, since we'll be doing that the rest of the year with our conference play. And as you look across the country, it's really hard to get games, and we're thankful Bethesda had room in their schedule to come over and play against us. A lot of schools out there just don't have room, or they're into conference play right now. So games are getting harder by the day as this season goes if conference games get canceled. One special moment after your win at Tarleton was your brother driving from Fort Worth after a big win against TCU. Head coach of the Baylor Bears. He makes his way over. It had to be special to see him, have him go into the locker room, talk to your guys, and then join you on the radio post-game show. It definitely was special having him there. He had said he might come, but I didn't think he would make it after playing a game that afternoon. And they had a short turnaround at the time, 2 days later playing West Virginia. And so for him to make the visit down and be able to visit with our team a little bit, it was a special night for little brother, and just great to see big brother in the gym. Well, they got a big matchup, I think, tomorrow against Texas Tech. If you look at that schedule, man, they have their schedule is tough. So their number 2 ranking is solidified, no doubt about it. And no doubt. They go Texas Tech back to Big Monday, Kansas at home. How do you like that matchup in 48 hours? That's crazy. Well, good luck tonight. Thank you. All right, head coach Bryce Drew, we'll send it back over to you, Kate.
This weekend, all eyes on both Drews in action. GCU getting ready for Bethesda Flames. Tonight and tomorrow, they will be in action. And we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll touch on a little bit of the activities happening around GCU. They're being safe, but still making things special amidst the pandemic.
20th anniversary of Operation Santa Claus. We've been feeding families and making kids happy for 20 years. 2020 has been tough for everyone. More kids, more families need your help this year. In celebration of 20 years, please donate $20 or bring donations to Sanderson Ford, Sanderson Lincoln, or the UPS store nearest you, and you might just win a new F-150 truck or a Lincoln Corsair. Donations benefit local charities only. For more info, go to givetothecause.com.
She said she wasn't hungry. She only wanted a bite. But this isn't just a patty melt. This is a Whataburger patty melt, the all-time favorite, with 2 all-beef patties, Monterey Jack, grilled onions, and creamy pepper sauce. So 1 bite became 2, and 2 became mine. Just a bite, huh? Good thing she's your other all-time favorite. Good thing there's the patty melt at Whataburger.
We welcome you back to the Lopes Pregame Show, driven by Nissan, with an update on the Lopes in the community. In partnership with Habitat for Humanity of Central Arizona, Operation Revival is GCU's signature neighborhood revitalization initiative, launched in 2015 with the mission of renovating as many as 800 homes in the Canyon Corridor and Maryvale. Students and staff have filled more than 5,100 volunteer shifts and are nearing 26,000 volunteer hours contributed. And although the pandemic may have put a pause on some of the repair projects, GCU and the Habitat have partnered to share best practices with nearby communities, considering implementing similar initiatives with their own neighborhoods, revitalizing together with purpose, with safety protocols in place. And for more information, you can go to habitatzaz.org or call 602-268-9022. Well, as we've become accustomed to with COVID, a lot can change. And in 2020, nothing was what we thought it would be. But that did not stop GCU from celebrating its most recent grads. The winter commencement looked a little different this year. It was just the graduating students allowed in at a safety, social distanced area. However, family and friends did watch the live stream from afar and are still celebrating these young scholars and future leaders.
Because of the pandemic, what we wanted to do is give some of you an opportunity in case you don't have one yet. The first one is working for GCU. The second one is potentially getting a spot in a school system. The third one is the ABSN program, and the fourth one is our advisory boards. Thank you for everything that you've contributed to GCU while you're here. If we can help you move forward with any of these 4 options, we'd like to do that. Congratulations on everything that you've accomplished.
All right, well, we are counting you down to tip off here at GCU Arena. And when we come back, we check in with a special guest. He's here, there, and everywhere. President Brian Mueller in from Houston with big news on the WAC conference. And we get the information straight from the source when we come back with more Lopes Pregame Show right after this.
Once you've been to hell and back, there's not much left to fear. When the boogeyman goes to sleep at night, he checks under his bed for me. Have you ever wondered who Waldo's hiding from? Me. Not even the Cougars of LA are enough to scare me. But if I get into an accident, I'm calling the boss, Sweet James. If you've been hurt, don't back down. Call Sweet James.
From reimagining the way you work to reassessing what you need, you've changed the way you do business. And now, so have we. With no annual contracts and flexible internet and voice solutions, you'll have what you need to get back to business. Rethink, reconnect, reimagine. Switch to Cox Business today.
Welcome back to the Lopes pregame show, driven by Nissan, coming at you live here on Fox 10 Extra as we get you ready for tonight's action. The Lopes 2-0 in conference play, hosting tonight the Bethesda Flames to keep game ready. Kate Longworth here, welcome you back to the set, and I'm joined now by GCU President Brian Mueller, who just got in from a plane from Houston with some great news from the WAC, as you guys just announced yesterday, the expansion, moving to a 13-team conference. Such exciting news, and how does this all come about, and what does it mean for GCU to have this addition of these premier universities?
Well, you know, the WAC has a real rich history going back to the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and then ran into some tough times in the 2000s. And we really struggled for 4 or 5 years just maintaining our membership. We started by bringing in Cal Baptist, Dixie State, Tarleton State. That really helped us solidify the WAC to some extent. But then we started thinking about Texas, Arizona, Utah. The country's moving south, the country's moving west, big population bases, fast-growing schools, and the opportunity to build a really strong mid-major conference. And so Abilene Christian, Lamar, Sam Houston, Stephen F. Austin, Southern Utah have now joined the WAC conference, and we will start actually next year in 2020. Very, very exciting for the WAC.
Yeah, it's incredible, and you spearheaded this expansion, and obviously it's big for the basketball brand. It does bring football back to the WAC for those participating universities, but just overall, how does it raise the profile for athletics across the board?
It's really a big move because, you know, the men's basketball and the basketball tournament is the way conferences can make money. It's the way conferences can make money to support the rest of the athletic program. And so for us to have Stephen F. Austin and Lamar and Abilene Christian, those schools join Grand Canyon, New Mexico State, Cal Baptist, Utah Valley. We are now in a position to rival the WCC and other mid-major conferences from a basketball perspective, and that really is what our goal is going to be.
Yeah, you can go up against the big schools now. You just increase the competition. So how, just across the board, does it help every sport out there? It's obviously going to help Andy Stankwit's baseball team with recruiting, but golf now, soccer, all these teams now hit the map, you know?
And that was part of the strategy, move into the South and move into the West to create a warm weather conference.
Yeah.
Baseball is very important to us, and I just got to put a plug in here. If you're looking for something to do this spring, come and watch the Lopes play baseball. Andy has really done an amazing job the last 3 years in recruiting, and so baseball's going to be strong, softball's going to be strong, golf's going to be strong, but this conference, from a warm weather perspective, is going to have a lot of advantages, and California sits to the west, biggest state in the country. Texas, the third biggest state, sits now to our east. We're right in the middle of that. That's going to help tremendously from a recruiting standpoint.
You've got the sunshine, you've got the notoriety, and currently the basketball team sitting on a couple of back-to-back road wins. Coach Drew goes out, opens the conference play as the new coach here for the Lopes with those wins at Tarleton. What stands out to you after those first couple victories?
Well, it's amazing how fast this team has come together. When you think about where we were last year and how fast this coaching staff moved to solidify the roster and bring the talent that's necessary to compete to go to the tournament this year. Obviously, bring in Midgard and Sean Miller-Moore, together with what we had coming back. We have a legitimate chance, and the feeling around the team is so positive, it's so upbeat. The players like each other, the players like the coaches. This is just the beginning for GCU basketball.
Yeah, and I think for both the men's and the women's, they're first of all dealing with so much safety first and battling different different opponents every day. You don't know exactly who's going to play. But Coach Miller, too, coming into WAC play with 8 wins for the women's team. I know today, unique. week. They're at home, but it was an away game against New Mexico State. They fell in overtime. They'll get a chance to redeem themselves tomorrow afternoon. But what have you seen Coach Mueller bring to this program as well?
Molly's a star. I mean, the 2 years before she was here, she was 70-1. She's already signed 6 players for next year. And so when you think about what she's going to bring next year and combine it, well, it's going to go fast. It's really going to go fast. If you haven't watched Coach Miller's team play, it is an unbelievable experience. Full court pressure, trapping defenses for 40 minutes. They're absolutely relentless. They play with huge energy, and there's a joy about that team that's going to make them, when we can get fans back in here again, you're going to want to watch Coach Miller's teams play.
And before fans are in here, we'll have them on Fox 10 Extra next month, so we're very excited for that. But we were talking expansion in the conference, but I want to make it a little bit more localized. There's been a lot of expansion here on campus for GCU, 3 new residence halls. It's for the upperclassmen, and what I am so impressed about, you're on a college campus, new residence halls with the rivers, but they also have parking. That's a good thing.
It's going to be, that new development at GCU is going to be incredible for our upper class students. 3 new residence halls, a new parking garage, an unbelievable pool, an arcade, a mini student union. It's going to be a great way for GCU students that become juniors and seniors to want to stay on campus and help build the community. And so, yeah, we're working towards 40,000 students here, and we will hit that in probably 3 or 4 years.
Absolutely incredible. Thank you so much, President Mueller, for joining us. And again, congratulations. I know you spearheaded that whole expansion with the WAC. We're very excited to see what's in store for the Lopes in years to come with the addition of these premier universities into the Western Athletic Conference. And we're also excited for what's ahead for the Lopes tonight against the Bethesda Flames. It's almost tip-off. We'll get you there right after this quick break.
As a kid, I always dreamed of being a Division I athlete. GCU supported that dream, and they also allowed me to get an education. So when I came to GCU, I was able to transfer enough credits in to fast track my education. So I graduated in 3 years with a master's, and I did it debt-free because I had athletic and academic scholarships. I'm Mackenzie, and I earned my MBA from Grand Canyon University.
There's a thunder in all of us. Come find your purpose at Grand Canyon University.
When life seems uncertain, there's one credit union that provides both dollars and cents. Copper State Credit Union. With solutions that focus on our members, you can take advantage of competitive rates, free cashback checking, and local attentive service. Uplifting our community is a standard we live by. That's why thousands of your Arizona neighbors rely on us. Strengthening Arizona families through financial empowerment. That's Copper State Credit Union.
GCU started off the new year giving fans a lot to cheer about with back-to-back wins on the road at Arlington. And now they return to GCU Arena. Due to COVID, it's not a WAC opponent tonight, but that does not keep the Lopes from hitting the hardwood tonight against the Bethesda Flames. We've got tip-off just moments away. Barry and Scott have the call, but we'll see what the Lopes can do tonight, keeping their conditioning going, trying to improve on their overall 6-3 record. We've got the game, we've got the action. Grab that quick snack, and hey, we'll be right back with college basketball coming your way.
To get away. It's time to escape. It's a new day to play. Your retreat awaits at Talking Stick Resort. Indulge your appetite for excitement with our thrilling table games, our electrifying slots, our outstanding restaurants, and our exceptional accommodations. It's all waiting for you. It's a new day to play at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
It's the 20th anniversary of Operation Santa Claus. We've been feeding families and making kids happy for 20 years. 2020 has been tough for everyone. More kids, more families need your help this year. In celebration of 20 years, please donate $20 or bring donations to Sanderson Ford, Sanderson Lincoln, or the UPS store nearest you. And you might just win a new F-150 truck or a Lincoln Corsair. Donations benefit local charities only. For more info, go to givetotheclause.com.
Live from the heart and soul of Phoenix, welcome to the campus of Grand Canyon University. And here at GCU Arena, where tonight, Talking Stick Resort presents GCU basketball with the Lopes hosting the Bethesda Flames. Good evening and welcome to GCU basketball alongside three-time NBA champion Scott Williams. I'm Barry Buttel. Scott, well, we will be joined by Kate Longworth in just a moment. It's been a while since we've joined you as the Lopes return from conference play, heading to Tarleton, 2-0 on the season.
Yeah, they did a good job coming off a 3-game losing streak. They righted the ship in a big way by playing big man basketball. They really crashed them on the glass, banged them inside for points in the paint, and had a great job of protecting the basket. Oscar Freire with some massive defensive stops in that basketball game.
How about you banging inside Ashbourne Midgard, player of the week?
Yeah, he just uses his big, large frame around the basket so well, whether it's offensive rebounds and keeping the ball high, going back up strong with it. He does good footwork. He rebounds outside of his space. He's not, stiff inside. He's got a lot of lateral range. And he sets a mean pick and can roll to the basket. I like this one right here because he just sits there, takes his time, uses his side, left shoulder turn to a strong right hand, little jump hook over the top.
There you see it, the two-game sweep at Tarleton against Billy Gillespie. 18.5 points, 10 boards, 2.5 blocks, the player of the week. It's a back-to-back scenario against Bethesda. They come in from Anaheim, California. That back-to-back scenario, something the Coach Drew is trying to get his team prepared for.
Yeah, he talked about being able to make adjustments on the fly, be able to understand what you want to do on a game plan, go out and execute it, and then come back in the locker room at halftime or next game and be able to make those adjustments, be effective.
All right, let's get it started. Send it down to our public address announcer, Paul Denuzer, with our opening prayer.
And welcome once again to the beautiful GCU Arena for tonight's men's basketball matchup between the Flames of Bethesda University and your Grand Canyon University Antelopes. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you all please rise if you are able. Gentlemen, please remove your caps as we begin this evening's competition with the word of prayer. Tonight's prayer is led by Luke Light, a freshman business finance and economics major and a first-year member of the cheer team.
Would you bow your heads with me? Dear God, we thank you for everything you give us, for the stadium you give us to play in. God, thank you for this awesome school and the staff that you have to teach us. God, we pray for the players' protection tonight on both sides, for good attitudes, and we do everything in your glory. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Luke.
The Bethesda University Flames coming in from the National Christian College Athletic Association. Their head coach is Leo Balian. The assistant coaches are Jason Spann and Michael Acuna. Here is the starting five for Bethesda. Brought to you by Talking Stick Resort, Justin Clark, Adrian Adgers, London Benford, and Reggie Smith alongside their leading scorer, Steve Wooten.
Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on Justin Clark. This team has a tendency to turn the basketball over a lot. If he does a good job controlling the basketball, getting them into their sets, they could be competitive tonight.
Time now to introduce you to GCU. Time for the starting five for head coach Bryce Drew and the GCU Lopes, brought to you by Talking Stick Resort. Mikey Dixon, Javon Blackshirt Jr., Oscar Freire, Alessandro Labor, and Ashbourne Midgard.
Yeah, let's keep our eye on Blackshirt Jr. He's going to have to go out there against Justin Clark. He's going to have to provide a lot of ball pressure and see if he can create some of those turnovers we talked about.
Coming back 2-0 after wins at Tarleton 75-72 and 59-48. Saturday, they close it out. They return back here for a home-and-home series against Bethesda. The assistant coaches, Jamal Walker, Ed Schilling, and Casey Shaw. Director of Player Development is Ryan Lightfoot. Director of Recruiting, AC Moikobu. Director of Video Operations is Peyton Prudhomme. Strength and Conditioning Coach Jordan Jackson. And the athletic trainer is Jordy Hackett. 6-3 overall are the Lopes. Time now for our Sanderson Ford. 3 keys to the game. Sanderson Ford for the best play in a new Ford. It's at Sanderson Ford.
Yeah, look out below. I mean, this Lopes team is a lot bigger, a lot longer than this Bethesda team. They're going to try to bang them inside and then snatch and grab. Talked about being able to get that ball off the board and get it down the other end, snatch those rebounds, grab those steals, turn them into easy transition buckets on the offensive end. And then home sweet home. How long has it been since the Lopes have had a home game on this GCU arena floor? They're going to have to be able to manage their emotions the very first 10 minutes of this basketball game, execute the game plan, don't be sloppy, and don't come out half-stepping against a team that you're better than.
It's been a long time. Good to get a tip-off here, all that we've been experiencing. Oscar Freyer, happy birthday to the high flyer.
Yeah, 23 years old. Wow, I would love to be 23.
Oh, yeah. I vaguely remember 23. A few years ago. You remember?
30 years, almost 30 years ago. My goodness. Where does the time go?
Once again, a great atmosphere here. Limited attendance, obviously, with COVID. We are underway.
I tell you what, limited attendance, but you never know by the noise. The cheerleaders and the band and what few students out are here can't crank it up.
Yes, they do. Mikey Dixon inside. Labor backing in. Big right hand, and the Lopes are on the board.
Well, we talk about banging them inside. Look out below. That was an easy one right there. Let him catch it on that left block. He goes to that left shoulder turn. That's an easy right-hand jump hook. You have to bring a double team faster or get him into a different type of move.
Benford off the mark. Midgard up. Blackshirt, Mikey Dixon alone, little teardrop.
Wow, grabbing boards, snatching rebounds, getting down transition, using your wheels.
Wooten, their leading scorer, off the mark, pulled down by Laver.
Yeah, Laver and Midgard and Frere and Gabe McLaughlin, all those guys should have a fun time on the boards tonight.
Bombs away, Laver for 3. Oh my!
Haven't played since Saturday, but you wouldn't know it. I mean, that's the way you start a basketball game. 2 buckets inside, you get a transition basket, you get a second out of your secondary break, you get a clean look at the 3.
Coming into the paint, ooh, careful, long distance, Clark. That's off the mark, big rebound, Laver able to gather it in.
You can see right now, this Bethesda team's gonna have a tough time getting any second chance opportunities.
Oh, all alone, Dixon.
Spun the ball in his hand, a chance to take, read the paper. There's nobody closed out on him. Already a Lopes up 10 quick points. We hadn't even played 2 minutes of this game.
Wooten leading the team, 23 points per game, over 10 rebounds, long 3. He hits it. That was a long 3.
That was out where Steph Curry and the boys shoot from, wasn't it? I tell you what, that was deep. I always say, we were watching them warm up. They were doing a drill where they were shooting 3-pointers. They missed 8 in a row. I didn't think they could hit one from outside, but connect on an early 3 here in this game. Uh-oh.
Inside, foul under there. Wooten hitting about 29% from 3-point land, but nothing but net on that long distance 3.
Yeah, that one was pure. And then again, they come back inside. They get Midgard on that right block, which is his favorite block. Just throw it right over the top of the defense. And he does such a good job using that 270-pound frame of his and really just moving guys out of the way. Here he is again.
Oh, Midgard's passed, picked off.
There, he spun that one out of his hands pretty quickly. Uh-oh.
Adger's lost it. Got it back again. Freyer trying to pick his pocket. Charge.
Oh, Mikey Dixon stepped in that driving lane, but I thought he bailed out of the way before the contact got there, but officials gave him the benefit of the whistle there.
off to the fastest 10 points this season.
Oh, for sure. It didn't take 90 seconds, did it?
No. 18:50 on the clock. Labor. Soft right hand off the window.
Yeah, they're just going to dominate inside. I mean, it's going to be big fella Ash on the right block and Labor over on that left block. They're going to have their way. They're going to soften them up down low. 7 points and 3 boards for Alessandro Labor and give Midgard another rebound.
Midgard's going to pile up some rebounds. Beyond the arc, oh my. Still not really well advised.
I know he's hit one on the season, but really why? Yeah. It's not going to matter at the end of this basketball game, but that's not your strength. Go on inside. Ooh. Knock it down.
Wooten again.
Woo. Boy, I tell you what, he came to play.
Mikey Dixon. Look pretty, doesn't go.
Posting up Blackshear, they don't give him the ball. Now he's got it.
Oh, underneath.
Yeah, that was
on
a
and
move.
off.
Blackshear was in a bad way down there. Big size advantage and giving up about 20 or 30 pounds. They didn't give him the ball, but he went on the offensive board, got it himself. He got all 8 of their points, doesn't he?
Yep. Lopes ball, 20 on the shot clock. Just underway here at GCU Arena in Phoenix. So glad you could join us. We'll be back with you tomorrow afternoon. Kate will have a pregame show at 1:30. Blackshear from the corner. Good.
Come on, Blackshear. Give me a 2-pointer on that one. Must have a toe on the line there. Blackshear came back. He didn't like getting posted up for that last possession. He said, let me get in the scoring column.
Wooten again.
How about Wooten?
I want to defend the guy a little bit tighter.
Hey, what with that last bucket, Labor moved into 4th place all-time GCU scoring. I got to make a note of that one there. And that's where you're supposed to eat. Yep. Big fella's got to go down there on that right blocking. It's like a smorgasbord. It's all you can eat down there, big fella. No sense to go out there on the outside.
Wooten again. That one's off the mark. Up for Labor. Bam, baby!
Look at the big fella using his wheels. Oh my goodness, they're banging him in the side. Coach needs a timeout and takes a timeout. 10-2 advantage points in the paint. Well, Blackshear knocking down the outside shots and Labor doing the damage on the inside. 4 for 4. He's off to a fast start.
One more member on our roster. Streets of New York is proud to announce Grand Canyon University to our winning team. We are now the official pizza of GCU. Go Lopes.
We made USAA insurance for members like Kate, a former Army medic made of the flexibility to handle whatever Monday has in store and tackle 4 things at once. So when her car got hit, she didn't worry. She simply filed a claim on her USAA app and said,
I've got this.
USAA insurance is made the way Kate needs it. Easy. She can even pick her payment plan, so it's easy on her budget and her life. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for. USAA.
GCU basketball is brought to you in part by Sanderson Ford. The best play in a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford. By Herff Jones. By your side. By Community Tire Pros, serving Arizona since 1945. And by Talking Stick Resort. Play in style. Lopes on top by 7 over Bethesda on a beautiful evening in Phoenix, Arizona. Let's send it down to Kate Longworth.
Well, guys, as you have mentioned, due to COVID and schedule changes, the Lopes are taking a brief timeout from a WAC opponent tonight, but that has not stopped the conference from gathering national headlines this past week with the news of an expansion. That's right, they're expanding to a 13-team conference.
conference with the addition of Texas schools, Abilene Christian, Stephen F. Austin, Lamar University, and Sam Houston State, along with Southern Utah GCU President Brian Mueller, helped spearhead this expansion. And of course, this not only makes the WAC more competitive here in basketball, but they're ready to go up against the Power 5 really across the board. It also brings back football to some universities that participate. But really, guys, this is exciting news for all of the athletic programs here at GCU.
Yeah, it was a very exciting week from NRG Stadium in Houston. As the Flames hit another long-distance shot. This time it wasn't Wooten, it was Justin Clark.
Yeah, Justin Clark, he's that guy we were talking about there in that starting lineup. He was able to knock that one down. Lopes got to do a better job closing out on those outside shooters. They're getting banged over the top of the head from outside the arc. 4 for 9 now are the Flames. Was that our guy Laver again?
Yeah.
5 for 5 to start this game. We see you're coming out here doing a great job.
21-14, GCU on top. Benford leaves it for Wooten. Wooten backs up. Sean Miller-Moore eyeing him. McLaughlin's on the court. Jaden Stone trying to contest it. Short, off the mark. McLaughlin with the rebound. Swarmed by a couple of Flames. Busted up to Blackshirt. Blackshirt goes right. Sean Miller-Moore takes it into the paint. Ooh, almost got stripped of it. Back out Laver. He wants 3. Give it to him. This guy's on fire.
Oh my goodness. Laver right now, the basket's looking as big as a hula hoop. He's throwing them in from inside and out.
Counter that, another bucket by Clark.
Yeah, Clark knocking him down. Once he got a little bit of the scoring action, he wanted some more of that too. So Clark and Wooten and Laver and Midgard are the 4 on the floor that are just having a field day out there.
Flames 5 of 10 from the arc.
Look at this one more time. I love this one by Miller-Moore. Get that ball below the free throw line. Everybody's got to collapse to the basket, and then you pitch it out to one of your perimeter shooters. And Laver right now providing all that offensive firepower from behind the arc. How many threes he got tonight? 3? 3 threes, and he hadn't even played 7 minutes.
In the ballgame for the Lopes, number 2, James McMillan.
McMillan comes in for Blackshirt.
See Dima Zador over there in street clothes just greeted Blackshirt as he came off the floor. He must have tweaked something in on that road trip. Let's see if we can get an update on what's going on with him. He's on his feet. He's acting like an extension of the coaching staff, so it wasn't a lower body injury, that's for sure.
That's your guy, too. I mean.
Yeah, he only played it one minute that entire roadie. I figured something must have been
in and out.
Something had gone wrong with him. But again, just one rebound for the Flames, and Lopes pushed that ball to the offensive end quickly.
Wow.
Ball called on the Flames, number 10.
There he is. He's up there, he's screaming, yelling.
Look at him.
Yelling at guys out there on the floor. Not supposed to take his face mask down, though. Coach is going to get him for that one. Looks like he's put on some muscle over the holidays, too.
Wish I could say the same. Little teardrop for Laver.
My goodness, Laver. I'm losing track. Is that 7 for 7 for 17 points?
That's correct, sir. Pulled down.
They must have told him you're only going to play 10 minets in this game, so he's trying to get it all in as fast as he can.
Well on his way.
Got 10 minutes to play, so look at this.
Oh, look at here, look at there. Bam! Sean Miller-Moore.
I like this Miller-Moore kid. You know, a Power 5 conference. He got that basketball, and his eyes got as big as saucers. He said, there's nobody between me and this hoop. Look how far he brings this one from behind his back. Puts a little extra sauce on that one.
6-0 run the last 57 seconds. GCU on top 30-17.
Just back scratch, hang on the rim a little bit. Can't take it home with Sean. Good energy. You wondered, a team like this, the Bethesda Flames, they come over and kind of just a gap in the schedule opened up, so they come on over. And sometimes if you look at a team, you go, okay, well, they've been getting kind of punched around a little bit. They're getting beat by about 40 points a game. The tendency is to relax and just kind of go through the motions, but we haven't seen that out of the guys in the white jerseys tonight. They've come out focused, aggressive, and trying to put their foot on for 6 minutes.
GCU 80% shooting, 8 assists on 12 field goals, 14-2 the margin in the paint.
Wooten's got a nice game. Right? You can see with this kid, he's got a smooth little rhythm to his game. He catches the ball. He's sure about what he wants to do with it, whether he's out on the perimeter or he's even inside.
Wooten at the line. 68%. Hits the front end. Bounces out. Wooten with 12 points, 4 of 7 from the field, 3 of 5 from the arc. Sean Mueller more over the top to Midgard. Big right handed in.
He could have just turned his left hand, laid off the glass, but he's so accustomed of using that strong left shoulder turn. He actually took himself further away from the basket, but when you're shooting 70% from the field the way he is in that painted area, it doesn't really matter.
London Benford into the corner. High arching shot off the mark. It'll be a Bethesda basketball. Looks like it went off of Lloyd. And Lloyd getting some minutes.
Yeah, I think this might be one of those things where Coach Drew, especially the back-to-back situation, kind of a weaker opponent, you're going to get a lot of guys into this basketball game. Was that our guy Wooten again?
That's Wooten.
Wow, 15 for Wooten now.
Boy. Over the top to Midgard. Midgard in the paint.
Maybe a little contact, maybe a little flop there, but anyway, going the other way.
32-21, Lopes on top.
When life seems uncertain, there's one credit union that provides both dollars and cents. Copper State Credit Union. With solutions that focus on our members, you can take advantage of competitive rates, free cashback checking, and local attentive service. Uplifting our community is a standard we live by. That's why thousands of your Arizona neighbors rely on us. Strengthening Arizona families through financial empowerment. That's Copper State Credit Union.
Alessandro Laver putting on a show early on, 17 points.
Yeah, he is showing out for sure. And you got the transition dunks, he's using his wheels, he's going inside, he's banging them inside with left shoulder turns and right hand hooks. He's stuffing out from behind the arc, knocking down threes. He's got 4 Rodmans. He got this team just playing really good basketball right now. Very effective offensively for the Lopes.
Well, it's been raining threes here for every 3-point shot that GCU makes. Copper State Credit Union will make a donation to the Students Inspiring Student Scholarship. For more information, please go to giving.gcu.edu. Lopes 8 of their last 8 from the field. 4 of 6 from the arc. Laver's career high for a first half is 18.
I see McMillan out there. I like this kid the minutes we've seen him out there on the floor. He's got real quick feet, stays in front of his man well. I want to see him get some transition baskets. get the team to get some transition back. Because here he goes. He's pushing it.
Lloyd pulled down the rebound. Stop, pop. McMillan, a little heavy rebound. Here come the Flames. Wooten to Benford. Benford cuts out. Backs up. Looks right. Reggie Smith rotating around. Lloyd's on him. Benford. Williams leaves it there. Smith, long distance, good.
Reggie Smith for three.
Well, I don't know what to say because I watched this team warm up for about an hour and a half. They were on the floor shooting 3 shots, outside shots that hardly made anything. They come out tonight, they shot 16 threes, and they've knocked down 7 of them.
To show you. Lloyd busts through that. Laver, big right hook, and he's got it now a new mark for first half scoring with 19.
19 points, wow. On 8 of 8 shooting, I don't believe this kid has missed a field goal yet. I once set a record in North Carolina, 12 for 12 from the field, but it took me the entire game to do it. He might do that in the first half.
McMillan call for the foul. Lloyd's going to check out. Dixon and Blacksher come in. McMillan will take a seat as well.
Mikey Dixon, Jovan Blacksher Jr.
Laver's career high for first half previously was 18. He did that twice, including December 1st against Mississippi Valley. Bedford takes the inbound. With 10.5 to go, opening half. Hatcher, long three, short off the front of the rim, pulled down by Blacksher underneath.
Well, you got Wooten and Frere down there wrestling for position underneath, and I thought it was pretty clean. Both guys kind of banging a little bit, and they whistled Frere for the hole down there. He had one heck of a road trip.
Oh, did he?
I really like the way he, Coach Drew, you had a chance to talk to him a little bit in the pregame show, and said it took him a while to shake some of that rust off his game, but he has come back in a big way. He's been a rim protector. He's been playing great defense, and he's shown a lot of senior leadership, even though he's got one more year left to go. I really think that this kid's going to have a real positive impact on his team for the next year and a half.
Hard not to pull for him. With a great attitude. Underneath, what a beautiful pass. Speaking of Oscar.
Yeah, Midgard using that size around the basket. If you're going to front the big fella, you got to make sure you got somebody on that weak side that can come over and not just let him catch and turn and go right to the hoop.
Benford. Justin Clark. Eyed by Mikey Dixon. Clark. Looked inside. Nice feed to Adrian Adgers.
Nice execution. Yep. Got the guy cutting across from the weak side right down on that block. Someone fell asleep on the weak side, peeking at the ball.
Laver to Midgard, waiting patiently, a little kiss.
Yeah, well, Midgard. I tell you what, if you're a point or shooting guard, you got a big target like that you can throw it to.
Picked off. Frere on the run. Bam!
Well, Blacksher had a little interference for Frere to get his steps right. Frere took off and threw one down the way we just saw Miller Moore throw one down with a little extra sauce on it.
Near side, 3 attempts short. Midgard hands it over to Blacksher. Blacksher up for Laver. Laver kicks back over to Frere. Long 3. Blacksher off the mark.
I thought Frere was going to shoot that 3. He knocked down 4 of them out there at Tarleton. Look at this deep.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, Wooten. I'll tell you what, Wooten says anything Laver can do, I can do too. He got 18 points. That's keeping him around too. I mean, I know they're down double figures, but if he hadn't been hitting the way he has, it would be really ugly out there.
Oh, look at there.
There's the 3 by Frere we wanted on that last possession. I thought he was a little too unselfish. He made the extra pass to Blacksher, and this time he said, I'm not going to do that twice, and knocks down his first outside ball. Block shot.
Quickly up for Mikey Dixon. Up high, Oscar Frere!
That's something I like about this team. Dixon could have gotten in there and laid that off glass, but He bunted over to his buddy so he could go down and throw a little something extra on it. And that's what we're seeing out of this Bryce Drew Ball Club, that the unselfish style of play has become real infectious. These guys like playing with and for one another.
Having fun tonight. Adju picked up Frayer. Look at the D. Westphal inbound. Oscar Frayer doing it both ends of the court. One huge monster block at Tarleton, but we have this timeout on the floor, and we haven't been able to chat with you in a while. And certainly at the first part of the year, we lost Paul Westphal, so we gotta step aside here and talk a little bit about the championship coach of GCU in 1988. And man, I don't think there was anybody out there that had a negative things to say about Paul Westphal. What a incredible human being.
He was a great dude.
Yeah.
That's one thing I say about Westy, that and I never got a chance to play for him. Only got to compete against him in the '93 NBA Finals. Talked to a lot of those guys on that squad. Kind of after that, but they all, to a man, said that there was not a better coach and like a player's coach and just good guy to be around all the time. He worked them hard, but he wanted the best for them. And as a player, that's what you want in your coach. I love that shot right there that you found and posted on Twitter. But he will be missed by the entire NBA and GCU family.
Five-time NBA All-Star, Hall of Famer in 2019. He won the championship with Boston. All-NBA first team 3 times, part of those Suns teams, the 2 NBA final teams, and 75, 76, and then the Cinderella Suns, you remember that, and then coming and coaching the 92-93 team that went to the finals. Kate, you have more on Paul Westphal.
Yeah, it was always so great, guys. I know we always had fun when he would be here in the stands for GCU games over the past several years. What I always loved about talking with Westy is, I'd want to talk to him about his reign here. And although he was quick to answer it with a big smile on his face, he had fond memories of coaching the squad here those 2 years leading up to a championship. But also he was very quick to deflect it back to the current squad, to the coaches now, to the players now on the hardwood. He just loved the game so much. He loved to come out here, support the Lopes. He loves what Jerry Colangelo and GCU were doing to revive this basketball program. But he was just such a fun person. I like talking to him in the commercial breaks because we could talk about, events happening around the basketball world and also just in life. He was a great guy.
Definitely supported the Christian mission of this university and brought that fast break style of play for 2 seasons. And that 1988 NAIA National Championship that many alumni and fans of the Lopes going back to those years will always cherish here.
That makes me sad. I'm sorry. It kind of gets me choked up a little bit. Being as the president of the Players Association here at the Phoenix chapter, we had a game at the Suns to honor Westy, went to the Hall of Fame, and he was just so gracious, wanting to give thanks for me putting things together. I'm like, no, it's just, that night was all about him. It was just such a good guy. Yeah, I'm just gonna miss him.
It's funny hearing Charles Barkley say when he came to Phoenix, everybody had always been named Charles. Everybody said Charles.
Sir Charles.
Yeah. But Paul called him Chuck.
That's the first guy to ever call him Chuck.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm Chuck now. Like Paul could do that.
He just rolled with it. Yeah.
Awesome. We'll miss Coach Westphal. Gone too soon at the age of 70. Brain cancer.
In the ball game for the Lopes, number
47-32 the score. GCU on top of Bethesda. 6:15 to go, opening half. It's good just to be back on the court.
Well, Lopes, offensively, this is a season high, 48 points. in the first half. And we still got 6 minutes and 8 seconds to go.
Big man have been a big story here. You love to hear that, right? 29 points, 9 rebounds in the opening half.
I love the bigs. The bigs are getting it done.
Oh, hey, how about that in the corner, Justin Clark?
Clark's knocked down a couple here in the last 4 or 5 minutes of this basketball game from long range. Blackshirt, he's been looking to get his offensive game going too. So they don't want to have all the bigs having all the fun down low.
Lopes trying to contest that three. Uncontested there. That doesn't go. They had a little bit of a problem in Vegas contesting the three. Laver can't rally that pass.
Yeah, that's the first mistake Laver's had all game, if you could even call it one, because that was a tough one. It was kind of like, I'm running straight down. I got to reach back kind of over my shoulder and twisting my body while I'm moving backwards while I'm moving forward. He just couldn't come up with it. He stood about 12 feet along that baseline. It'd be a big wet spot for those ball boys to wipe up on that.
Under 5.5 to go, opening half. Big three attempt off the mark, hustling back. Good move by Malcolm Williams to keep it alive. Adgers off the mark. Underneath, Clark, turnaround, big right hand, that's off the mark. Sean Miller-Moore brings it up.
Yeah, and you could see Midgard's down there to challenge that shot. Made him shoot a little higher than he wanted to, and he missed it.
Foul. Adger. Third on him.
Miller-Moore took that shot upside the head there.
Yeah.
Tough, rub some dirt on it. As much as the Lopes have scored, you look at the score, it's a 14-point game. It's not like they're getting beat by 25. And there's a lot of time left in this one, but Flames are kind of hanging around. It's kind of what they want to do. See if they can maybe claw into this deficit, try to get it down to 9 before the break. They got 5 minutes to do it. They can knock down some more of those outside shots. The problem is with a short bench, they only traveled 8 guys over here from California. Will those legs start to go on them, all those outside threes that they've been knocking down? They're going to be harder to come by later in this half or in the second half.
Oh, the left hand doesn't go, and Laver's going to be called. Trying to go after the miss.
His first miss of the basketball game, it was right at the rim. He's a little shocked he missed it too, and he committed the foul. Like, wait, that's not supposed to, that's got to go in. Maybe trying to get it back and got whistle for the foul.
You better go take a seat and think about that mistake.
Come back with McLaughlin. I think that's a real exactly. For Coach Drew to take a big guy out like a Laver and come back with an energy bunny like McLaughlin, that's a good problem to have.
Portis in the game. Badgers picked up that third. Smith. Rashad Smith all over him.
He really was like a blanket. Nice switching defense on the perimeter. Only 3 to shoot.
Snuck around Sean Miller-Moore, but good defense there.
Well, I don't know if they're going to put a half a second back on the shot clock, or I guess you're saying 1 more second back on the shot clock, because it was just about to expire. Look at this one here. Comes back, stays down, doesn't go for the pump fake, gets that block. Nice job. Got to shoot it quick. Oh, he turned it over.
McMillan up high, bam, baby!
Wow, McMillan loves it. Miller-Moore loves it. That's how you execute a fast break right there. You get that steal and you just get out and go.
They got out and went.
That's a couple times now these perimeter guys have given it up to the high flyers. You know, Oscar Freire got one, and then Miller-Moore gets another one. This team's just having some fun. You get that steal right here, and then one on the shot clock. Miller jumps on and goes, okay, go get it, big fella. Hammer time.
Once you've been to hell and back, there's not much left to fear. When the boogeyman goes to sleep at night, he checks under his bed for me. Have you ever wondered who Waldo's hiding from? Me. Not even the Cougars of LA are enough to scare me. But if I get into an accident, I'm calling the boss, Sweet James. If you've been hurt, don't back down. Call Sweet James.
As a kid, I always dreamed of being a Division I athlete. GCU supported that dream, and they also allowed me to get an education. So when I came to GCU, I was able to transfer enough credits in to fast track my education. So I graduated in 3 years with a master's, and I did it debt-free because I had athletic and academic scholarships. I'm Mackenzie, and I earned my MBA from Grand Canyon University.
There's a thunder in all of us. Come find your purpose at Grand Canyon University.
Kate Longworth, welcome you back here. Under 4 to go. GCU on top of Bethesda, 51-35. We're happy to be back here with you on Fox 10 Extra, both tonight and tomorrow afternoon with men's basketball. Also happening as we look at our USAA athletic calendar. Men's tennis in action tomorrow at BYU, along with men and women's swimming and diving at UCLA. And after the men's basketball team, tomorrow, women in action in an away game right here at GCU Arena against New Mexico State. COVID times, they can be crazy, but one thing we're keeping consistent with is our basketball coverage. And coming up at half, I will check in with Coach Drew, see what he likes so far about his team coming out fast here in the first half. And we'll also check in at halftime to see what the Lopes are up to around campus here, guys.
Thanks, Kay. Look forward to that. Defending the 3, maybe? I mean, if you had to nitpick here, do you think that might be
That's all you got, really. I mean, they've knocked down a couple shots, but even I think half of them have been contested. There hasn't been like they've been completely wide open.
Right.
The problem is they're just shooting them from about 5 or 6 feet from behind the arc, and I think it kind of caught the Lopes off guard early on in the first half.
Fast break. Edge 10-0 for the Lopes. In the paint, they're 28-4 the margin. McMillan. Up high to Sean Miller-Moore, just reaches over with the right hand and just lays it in the hoop.
Just a hate time on that one. It's like you thought he was going to catch it and have to dunk it, but he just kind of simmered around the basket like he was in a slow cooker and just kind of decided, okay, now I'll drop it in.
Picked it off, turnover, Rashad Smith, bounce to Miller-Moore. Oh, it's the Sean Miller-Moore show.
And the Lion. This kid's having this is a rim record tonight. 20-point advantage now for the Lope, the largest of the game on back-to-back Miller-Moore shots at the rim.
Oh, defense tight. Rashad Smith, long distance, off the mark, mid guard.
Well, it was 14-point deficit for the Flames, and you thought, well, if they could get it to 9, and maybe they had a shot, but Lopes just put on the pressure and got a bunch of turnovers in a row, and Miller-Moore's been the beneficiary of those turnovers as he's just been able to attack the rim. 20-point advantage now with 55 points here in the first half.
6-0 run in the last minute. Smith drives baseline. Knocked out by the Lopes. Career high in the Division I for Sean Miller-Moore is 12 versus Colorado on December 22nd. Keep an eye on that.
Well, he's sitting on 10 right now, and he's 4 for 4. I don't think he's got a shot. If you had the, chart his shots, I don't think they'd all be right inside the cylinder. That's a nice one right there. Nice execution of that baseline out of bound play. He's trying to get himself 20 points here in this first half. In fact, he's got himself 21.
7 of 13 from the field, 5 of 10 from the arc is Steve Wooten. Down low to mid guard. Oh, no doubt about that one.
Look out below. That's one of those keys we were talking about is throwing it into those big fellas, letting them just take a drop step and dunking it. What was that they just showed there on the bench? It kind of looked over late.
Ethan Sprott.
A little scruff going there, didn't he?
Dimas Adore is up on his feet. He is like pacing around.
Yeah, I wonder what his problem, not his problem, what his issue is, why he's not playing tonight, because you know it's not anything to do with his ankles or his knees.
Ton of energy.
He's been
going to run into Bryce Drew.
He's literally been up more, I think, than Coach Drew.
Yep.
He's down there being the coach of the reserves down there.
He's going to bring out the whiteboard in a minute, start marking up something. Here, look at him. He's just pacing back there. He's got some jewelry there in the ear.
Maybe his injury is to his bottom, and that's why he doesn't want to sit down.
Oh, there you go.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
His arms seem to be working fine. His legs seem to be working fine. I just haven't seen him bend.
Midguard drains it. 20-point lead. 6 of 6 from the free throw line. Good to see for GCU.
Yeah, they've struggled from the line somewhat. And then Midguard now, he got 14. They already taken Laver out. He's probably got ice on his knees already. He might be done in this one here in the first half.
Liam Lloyd checks back in. McLaughlin, Chance McMillan, Rashad Smith, Bryce Oakpo on the court. Smith, step back, travel.
Yeah, I think some of you guys have been watching that pro move by James Harden where he takes about 4 little side steps to create some space to be able to knock down those outside shots that the NBA's letting him get away with, which just drives me nuts as a big, because God forbid I drug my pivot foot.
Rashad Smith on a sweet feed from Liam Lloyd.
That was a well-designed play and well executed by the players. Give Coach Drew the assist on that one, but give the players a big hand clap for going out there and executing that one nicely.
Lopes are having fun tonight.
There's another travel. And that's because Gabe McLaughlin was all up in his shorts there playing good, solid defense. This kid's gone for 21 points, and they said, okay, McLaughlin, go get him, and forced him into the travel there, Wooten.
Smith quickly, Lloyd wants 3. Good for the freshman.
Yeah, that's the one you gotta have. Everything's going well. You've been passing the ball and dishing it off. You come off, there's nobody within 5 feet of you. Practice that one too many times and practice not to take advantage of when you get your shot in the game.
Lloyd's first Division I three-pointer. The scoring machine in high school. Coach's son.
Just one more time here. This is just a nice one there. There's a nice screen by Oakpo. We haven't seen him in a while. And then really gets his guy, cleans him up. I said 5 feet. That was more like 10 feet. Good pick there by Oakpo. I wish they would really chart those. I would have been a phenomenal poor player if they charted how many screens I set to get shooters open. Maybe like from Michael Jordan, Dana Barrows. I'll tell you what, I have some great stats.
Ooh. Paid the price.
Is that Oakpo charging in there? That's a nice one. He's setting another big screen, and then he rolls to the basket. And when the better screening is set, the more opportunity you're going to have to be open as you roll. But unfortunately for Oakpo, he doesn't go up off of 2 feet in that situation and then charges into the guy that's just outside that restricted area. The Lopes haven't done too many things poorly today, but they're going to have a... Just trying to figure out how to stop. Look at Wooten, 3 attempts. And he knocks it down.
Stayed with
Steve
it.
Wooten, 23 points to match his 23 on his jersey there. What is he averaging, 25 on the season?
Right around that.
Got that in the first half.
Yep. McMillan deals back. Smith puts it down beyond the arc. Good. Oh, they're feeling it. All these guys. What a confidence builder.
Once you go inside for a basket, and all of a sudden that outside shot looks a little bit sweeter. 27-point advantage for the Lopes heading into the locker room. And I would say the crowd's going wild, but there's not that much of a crowd, but they are going wild.
Why not? Friday night, up by 27.
Haven't seen the team play in 30 days. What a half for the Lopes. Boy, I tell you, no half stepping in that half.
Nope. 67-40, the halftime score. Lots of offense on both sides.
Big fellow there, 4th all-time leading scorer now as he walks off. Only missed 1 shot. Midgard with a good first half. Everybody that played well.
So we'll send it down to Kate Longworth.
All right, well, Coach, the team came out, really established the tone in this one, off to a fast start, and overall team shooting over 70%. What stands out to you so far with this first half play?
Well, if you like offense, it's a fun game to watch on both ends. Offensively, that's the best we shot the ball all year. We moved the ball. Ali, again, came out really aggressive, got us off to a great start.
And, of course, your brief break from WAC play, the opponent, you want the W tonight, but you also want to practice some fundamentals out there. And I imagine, too, some defense when it comes to an opponent shooting the 3. What types of things we talk about to the team during the break?
Well, you just said basically what we've been saying every time out is we have to take away their 3s. They hit way too many. They had 10 3s going to that last media timeout. which is way too many. So halftime, hopefully we can make that adjustment, make them put it on the floor and shoot 2s and not 3s in the second half.
All right, we wish you the best of luck. Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, we will be back with more halftime action coming your way. We'll recap some highlights, plus check in on what's going on here on the GCU campus. Right now, the score, the Lopes on top of the Flames, 67-40 your score. We'll be back with the Lopes halftime show here on Fox 10 Extra.
It's time to get away. It's time to escape. It's a new day to play. Your retreat awaits at Talking Stick Resort. Indulge your appetite for excitement with our thrilling table games, our electrifying slots, our outstanding restaurants, and our exceptional accommodations. It's all waiting for you. It's a new day to play at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
We can stand together by standing far apart.
Stay 6 feet apart from other people.
Wear your mask when you go out.
Wash your hands often.
If you feel sick, stay home. Be respectful of others.
The choices you make are critical.
By protecting yourself, it helps protect all of us. Your actions can save lives.
What we do now will shape our future.
Stay safe.
It's the 20th anniversary of Operation Santa Claus. We've been feeding families and making kids happy for 20 years. 2020 has been tough for everyone. More kids, more families need your help this year. In celebration of 20 years, please donate $20 or bring donations to Sanderson Ford, Sanderson Lincoln, or the UPS store nearest you. And you might just win a new F-150 truck or a Lincoln Corsair. Donations benefit local charities only. For more info, go to givetotheclaus.com.
Welcome back to the Lopes halftime show. Right now, GCU on top of Bethesda, 27 points right now, 67-40 your score here at GCU Arena. As the Lopes take a brief timeout from WAC play to go against a non-conference opponent, taking care of business in these back-to-back games, they hope. Well, outside of basketball, the Lopes also present in the community with a partnership with Habitat for Humanity of Central Arizona. Operation Revival is GCU's signature neighborhood revitalization initiative, launched in 2015 with the mission of renovating as many as 800 homes in the Canyon Corridor and Maryville. Students and staff have filled more than 5,100 volunteer shifts and nearing 26,000 volunteer hours contributed. And amidst the pandemic, they've still found a way, even though things have changed, to get out there and support the community in a safe manner. And once again, Kate Longworth, welcoming you back here to GCU Arena. We've got a lot to talk about right now with the Lopes up big over Bethesda. But first, we want to continue talking about what the Lopes have been doing here around campus. One of the things we know in 2020, things were not normal, and that was the same for the winter commencement here at GCU Arena. Unlike festivities of the past, only current graduates were allowed here with friends and family watching a live stream from home, but that did not stop the celebration for these young scholars and future leaders.
Because of the pandemic, what we wanted to do is give some of you an opportunity in case you don't have one yet. The first one is working for GCU. The second one is potentially getting a spot in a school system. The third one is the ABSN program, and the fourth one is our advisory boards. Thank you for everything that you've contributed to GCU while you're here. If we can help you move forward with any of these four options, we'd like to do that. Congratulations on everything that you've accomplished.
congratulate those graduates entering the world during these uncertain times, but they're going out there. Even some nursing students already in hospitals making a difference. So congratulations, winter class of 2020. Speaking of 20, how about a 27-point lead? That's what the Lopes have right here. When we come back, Barry and Scott are back with us to recap all that has been Lopes basketball here in the first half at GCU Arena. We'll be right back.
While you explore our country, let Community Tire Pros be part of your journey. We're here to give everyone something to look forward to. Message us or schedule an appointment online at Community Tire Pros today. Tire Pros, we're here for you.
Grand Canyon University, a Christian university, is one of the largest and fastest growing universities in the country. GCU offers 270 dynamic academic programs with modern apartment-style living, classrooms, labs, restaurants, and more. Located in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona, GCU's vibrant community and expansive campus is ranked top 20 for best college campuses in America. My university integrates the free market system with a welcoming Christian worldview perspective into its academic programs and throughout campus life, so you can put your faith into action and help transform communities. GCU campus students received over $157 million in scholarships in 2020, and many students attend GCU for less than the cost of a state university. Visit gcu.edu/myoffer to see the scholarships you qualify for. Admissible high school seniors can schedule a free visit from anywhere in the country. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu/myoffer.
When you have the urge to play outside, Tire Pros wants to get you there, offering convenience, selection, and our national roadside assistance. Message us or schedule an appointment online at Community Tire Pros today. Tire Pros, we're here for you.
67-40, the Lopes on top of the Flames here at the half at GCU Arena. Barry Buttel alongside Scott Williams. So glad you could join us as that opening half. That was fun to watch. You gotta tip your cap to Bethesda. They were draining some threes, but man, the Lopes, they contributed. A lot of guys coming off the bench, but the inside game was definitely the big story.
Yeah, the Flames got hit over the head with a bag of nickels inside that painted area. Just really did a job, whether it was fast break points, it's high flying jams, left and right shoulder turns by the big guys, just doing everything and anything that they wanted underneath that basket. And I love this one right here by Big Labor, because he just takes his time, knows he's got a middle of the floor to operate. Once you soften him up on the inside, get that basketball going inside, then the outside game opens up for you. So Labor, congratulations on him going to fourth place all time. And then when he stopped, Midgard took over and he went to work. Lopes with 8 dunks, but it wasn't the big fellas dunking, it was Miller Moore and Oscar Flair flying in from all over the place.
19 points for Labor, 14 for Midgard. Then a look at a Arizona Leadership Foundation highlights now for our Commonwealth first half stats. As you look at that, 77%.
I don't know if I've ever seen that on a first half stat sheet in a long period of time. You know, you give the Flames some credit. We were talking about it at halftime, those 10 threes that they knocked in, that really kept them around, even though they got a 27-point disadvantage. And they can knock down some threes and the Lopes go cold, but it's the points in the paint that are really busting them upside the head. Like I said, 36-6 advantage points in the paint. That's hard to recover from.
That is hard to recover. 67-40 is our halftime score. Kate will be back with more from Phoenix and GCU Arena after we take this time out.
Joel Embiid is unhappy.
Like, really unhappy.
Because the internet keeps using not-so-amazing GIFs to react to his amazing highlights. Mountain Dew presents the Joel Embiid Deserves Better Reactions GIF Collection.
Now I'm so happy.
We made USAA insurance for members like Kate. A former Army medic made of the flexibility to handle whatever Monday has in store and tackle 4 things at once. So when her car got hit, she didn't worry. She simply filed a claim on her USAA app and said,
I've got this.
USAA insurance is made the way Kate needs it. Easy. She can even pick her payment plan, so it's easy on her budget and her life. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
The temperature scanning kiosk from Pacific Office Automation is an easy-to-use, attendant-free device that quickly checks a person's temperature anytime, anywhere. You can now provide peace of mind at schools and universities, grocery stores, restaurants, nursing homes, medical clinics, sporting events, offices, private gatherings, and more. Look to us to help you reduce the risk and be safe. Visit PacificOffice.com. Pacific Office Automation. Problem solved.
Welcome back. Live look inside GCU Arena as the Lopes get ready for the second half. Right now, they are leading the Flames 67-40, and leading the way for GCU is Laver. He has 19 points. The reigning WAC player of the week, Midgard, with 14 to his name. And Miller Moore, 10 points, and he is close to a Division I career high, which is 12 points. And how about Wooten leading the way for the Flames? He averages about 23 points rather per game, already 23 points in the first half. The Flames have been hot from beyond the arc, so we'll see if the Lopes have an answer for that here in the second half. Plus, we'll see what kind of show GCU might be putting on here. Right now, they already have that 67-40 lead, and they look to build upon that. When we come back with more Lopes basketball coming your way right after this.
When life seems uncertain, there's one credit union that provides both dollars and cents. Copper State Credit Union. With solutions that focus on our members, you can take advantage of competitive rates, free cashback checking, and local attentive service. Uplifting our community is a standard we live by. That's why thousands of your Arizona neighbors rely on us. Strengthening Arizona families through financial empowerment. That's Copper State Credit Union.
From reimagining the way you work to reassessing what you need, you've changed the way you do business. And now, so have we. With no annual contracts and flexible internet and voice solutions, you'll have what you need to get back to business. Rethink, reconnect, reimagine. Switch to Cox Business today.
How can you describe Whataburger's honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich? The chicken just has a certain, with the sauce. The sauce, it gives you a little bit of... And the cheese, it's the exact right amount of... Whew, it's almost too hard to put into words. Good thing there's... Yeah. Good thing there's the honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich at Whataburger.
Back at GCU Arena, where the game is presented in part by Talking Stick Resort. Play in style. They're doing so tonight. 67-40 is the score with the Lopes on top. Time for our sweet play of the half, brought to you by Sweet James. It was sweet.
Well, this is that one where they kind of just push it down the floor and just throw it to the corner, and Miller Moore's eyes got big as a saucers, and I love those ones right there where the guards were just flowing it up there and letting the wings run the floor and just get into that takeoff strip, and they were just having a lot of fun playing above the rim in that first half.
Great crowd here on hand, mixed in with these cutouts. We've talked about the cutouts, Scott. Charles Barkley, Tom Chambers. Wait.
No,
wait.
really?
What do I see on the right?
I love it.
It's Scott Williams.
I love it. Kate, me, you. I wish my tie wasn't sticking out so much in my jacket. I'm popping out of there. I'm looking like Barkley right there. That button looked like it's about to fly across the arena at any given moment. But I love it. We got cutouts.
We didn't get to say on which pictures they were going to use.
Kate is, she's ticked off right now. Her mouth is open.
I mean, I I'm ready now. Can you give me now?
That's a nice surprise,
Yeah,
right?
that's good, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
It just shows I take my work seriously. I'm always on the job. I'm like right now thinking, what are they saying up there in the booth right now?
Yeah, you must have been interviewing somebody because you got like you're pointing that mic towards somebody
I
there.
do. And I'm like, I don't approve of this answer.
Oh my goodness, that's great. I love it. Thank you for whoever was in charge of doing that. There's Chambers.
Coach Flood.
All right, well, let's see if these Lopes can come out with that same sort of intensity. Sometimes when you take a big lead to the locker room, it's easy to come out and be a little lackadaisical the first 3 minutes until you remember, like, oh, yeah, that's right, we still have a second half to play. Now, if I know this Coach Drew team and the assistant coaches that he's got on his bench, he's warned these guys to guard against that. Come out here with that same sort of energy and intensity to start the second half as they did to start the game.
67 points, a first half record for GCU. Previously 55, done multiple times. Last time, remember? December 27th, 2017. Remember that? Morgan State in Vegas.
Oh, that's right. We were at that one, weren't we?
Yeah.
And that's not going to make Coach Drew happy because his emphasis was to guard that three-point line. The first shot they give up is a look from behind the arc.
Midgard gets his own rebound. Open arm.
That was the Moses Malone play right there. So I'm going to get this one. I can make this first one, but I'm going to put it right on the front of the rim so I can grab it again, pad my rebounding stats, make sure I get my my season bonus, and then I'll go back up and finish it. McCarty, but he catches that basketball in traffic. And a lot of young bigs' tendency is, oh, I got to put this ball down to power it back up. Well, that's what gives you lose your advantage, and the little guys come in and they strip the ball away. Half the time they grab you on arm, and the officials won't call it. But Midgard does a good job of really keeping that ball high. For any of you young bigs watching this game right now, really watch the way he operates down that block when there's in a crowd. Does a good job. Got him there, though, pushing off underneath.
Yeah.
He knew it right away, too. He's like, okay, he got me.
Yep. Pushed off on Adger, did Midgard. 36 points for the Bigs, 11 rebounds, 14 of 17 from the field.
Well, that's a night. 14 of 17. Is that about 70, 80% itself right there? And then you're better with numbers than I am.
What?
That's getting it done. Look at him out there sliding his feet out here behind the three-point line. That's kind of hilarious. Does somebody want to come over and help the big fella out? He's not supposed to be out that far away from the basket.
Smith for three. Off the mark.
Nice job by Frere with the box out that time on Whoop.
I remember you talk about that a lot, about not putting that ball on the court, on the floor.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, not even putting it on the floor, just bringing it down low along your waistband.
Yeah. Blackshear tried to pass it behind his back. Wooten, Midgard.
Shall not pass, using that length down there. Yeah, Badgers didn't stand a chance.
Get out of here with that. Up over the top, Laver, kick back out. Blackshear quickly to Frere, wide open for three.
Yeah, extra pass. Baby. Yeah, I tell you what, Blackshear Jr. is a very unselfish basketball player. It's fun to watch that young man play ball. Just don't run into his mama outside after you messed up a pronunciation of his last name. She will get you.
Good for her. 10 points, 3 assists for Frere.
Another rebound there by his big fella again. Adger's down there trying to claw for that ball. Midgard keeps it up, around his forehead.
Well, Frere, that's off the mark. Midgard trying to get a hand on there. Bringing it up, Benford. Benford to his right, nice little crossover, doesn't drop.
That was a sweet move that time, though. He kind of goofy-footed the layup. Unfortunately, couldn't get it down, but that was a good move to get to the rack.
Mikey Dixon didn't drop.
Yeah, he put too much English on it. He tried to spin the ball out of his hand onto the board, and he spun it so much, it spun all the way across the basket.
He's got the old Jock Plot mask on right now. Bounce pass, Dixon. Little hockey reference there for you, Scotty.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know where that was coming from.
Yeah. Oh, in and out.
After filling up in the first half there, all of a sudden the Lopes with that first bucket, they haven't been able to get a whole lot to go offensively. He knows how to put it in the bucket.
Left hand off the window.
Yeah, over his season, as Kate said, has season high, average is around 23.5 points now. That gives him 27, 25 now on the game.
Oh, look at the move by Blackshear.
He managed to get himself up off the floor, too. That was the most impressive part about the play. Some of these guys go down, they can't help themselves back up off the floor. Blackshear Jr., he does a nice job of just freezing the defense with a little, I don't want to call it a head and shoulder fake or hesitation or whatever. It's just a change of pace more than anything else. I don't know if it just causes the defender to relax or try to guess what he's about to do, if he's going to circle back out or move right or left, and then he just continues to the basket.
Lopes have added a patch there.
What is this patch?
One Nation Under God.
Oh. Is that going to be on the jerseys the entire the rest of the season?
I was not alerted to that, so that will be something Coach Drew and his staff
to find out.
Reinforcing the
down there,
Christian mission of the university.
Is that what it is? Okay, I didn't know. So, sometimes there were black patches when people have passed.
Sure.
I didn't know if that had anything to do with the passing of Coach Westphal, timing on it or whatnot.
Hatcher, near side, Reggie Smith. High by Blackshear. Out to Wooten. Wooten guarded heavily by Sean Miller-Moore. Frees up a little bit of room. Big rebound. Labor up and grabs it for Blackshear. Blackshear on the run. Up high. Bam! Wow, what a feed by Blackshear to Sean Miller-Moore.
I don't know how we even saw Miller-Moore rolling that right lane. I thought Blackshear had ran past everybody on his team, and he got down that painted area and he throws it up, but also back and a little extra height on it to give Miller-Moore a chance to run down and catch up with it in the big right paw. He sends it down and Blackshear loves it. He just said, "Hey, Coach, did you see that play I just made?" Oh, he loves it. Now, a chance for Miller-Moore to set a new career high. He's missed a couple free throws. He's down and working on that stroke light. That's the first shot he's had to take, I think, was the free throw. Everything else has been dunks at the rim for him.
I'm thinking he'll have another opportunity.
Yeah, he's going to get that career high tonight. You know what they say in high water.
Williams doesn't drop for him.
There it is again. There it is again. I don't
Take
know what
that
is. That little hesitation, a dribble below the knee. I'm not quite sure how he does it and pulls it off, but he is freezing defenders and taking it right to the basket. What is that, 80 to 45? What's the number on that? 35 points? What's going on here? I used to add those kind of scores. Subtract in and add. All kind of discombobulated.
Don't look at me, man.
Oh, there it is. There it is. There's his career high.
There it is.
He couldn't get it from the free throw line. He went back down and got it inside. There's one right here. I love that.
Oh, who wouldn't? Oh, he hurt himself.
20th anniversary of Operation Santa Claus. We've been feeding families and making kids happy for 20 years. 2020 has been tough for everyone. More kids, more families need your help this year. In celebration of 20 years, please donate $20 or bring donations to Sanderson Ford, Sanderson Lincoln, or the UPS store nearest you. And you might just win a new F-150 truck or a Lincoln Corsair. Donations benefit local charities only. For more info, go to givetotheclause.com.
I'm personal injury attorney James Bergener. Accidents can happen. If something happens to you or your family, call me. My firm and I will take you by the hand and guide you through everything. You see, personal injuries are just that. They're personal. You're not a number. You're more than just a name. This is your life. At my firm, each case is professionally and personally tailored to you. So if you've been injured, I've got your back. Call me now for a free consultation.
GCU basketball is brought to you in part by Sanderson Ford. The best play on a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford. By Herff Jones, by your side. By Community Tire Pros, serving Arizona since 1945. And by Talking Stick Resort, play in style. Well, the Lopes are playing in style. 82-45 over the Bethesda Flames. These two teams back at it tomorrow afternoon.
If you saw that score, wouldn't you think that was a final? Like 82-45. You think that would be like a final? You wouldn't think there'd be 15 minutes and 18 seconds left to play in the game.
No doubt about it. Let's set it down to Kate Longwood.
Well, Scott Williams not the only one hanging out in the Lone Star State. As luck would have it, the Drew brothers both found themselves in Texas last weekend with their respective teams. And after Waco-based Baylor beat Texas Christian, Scott headed to Tarleton to cheer on his younger brother and the Lopes. And although Scott was just a fan, he told our Lopes insider Paul Coro he was just as stressed out watching his brother coach the team as he was when he is coaching his own team. But a lot of pride for his younger brother. Obviously, the Drew family has a lot of basketball pedigree in their family. And I think it's just great that, you know, the schedules would line up that way. They're able to do it. And I also enjoyed listening to them afterwards on the radio broadcast, joking about how Bryce's hair may be turning a little bit more gray coaching the Lopes now. Scott said he's losing hair coaching Baylor, but obviously Baylor's doing something right. They are second ranked in the country. And yeah, Scott's saying a lot about how great it is what President Brian Mueller and GCU has done, the resources they pour into this basketball program, making it top tier first class place to play at and coach.
I agree, and that was quite the effort for his brother to get up there that particular day because there was a lot of snow on the ground. Yeah, he had to try to navigate.
Who put a harm?
Well, it's just getting crazy now. They're just running to the basket, and everyone's just having fun above the rim. Miller Moore, boy, he got some wheels. He can get that basketball from anywhere about the top of the key, and with one dribble, he is finishing at the rim. He's got some big-time athleticism for sure.
Back to Scott Drew. Ooh, that's a little short.
He got to work. He got to put some time in the lab at the free throw line, though. And the last time you said he got hit in the eye, and that's why he had missed the three-point line. This particular line, I don't think he got an excuse for that one.
Maybe it's a lingering.
I saw LeBron James on Christmas shoot an air ball from the free throw line as well. So if one of the greatest players of all time could do it, certainly Miller Moore gets a pass.
Oh, getting a little sloppy now, right?
Well, they're just out there. It's turned into a bit of a pickup game where you're just running up and down the court, not really getting in any offensive sets. It's kind of a freewheeling basketball game. Maybe a little pick and roll is about all we're going to see the rest of this basketball game.
Back to Scott Drew and the Baylor Bears, 11-0. They play Texas Tech tomorrow. If you go to their schedule page and the game after game, who they play,
studs.
There is not a weak link in any of. And they're number 2. I don't know, man. It's a gauntlet every game they play, and tomorrow would be another one against Texas Tech.
Yeah,
put a harm there.
Yeah, he gets the squad ready to perform regardless of who's in front of him. Michigan's the same sort of thing. They've had a tough schedule. They've played 4 teams in the top 25 this past week, and they beat them all by 18 or 20 points. But there's some really good college teams out there. Throw Gonzaga in that mix as well. Iowa, Carolina's, even my Carolina squad, even though they're a little on the young side, they've had some flashes as well. Tournament this year is going to be really interesting because it's not Virginia, it's not some of the powerhouses that have been there for a while. It's some up and comers. Baylor kind of got the short end of the stick or the short straw, whatever you call it, last year, because I thought last year going into March they had a good chance of winning it all and the #1 team in the country for a good part of that season a year ago. So let's see if now they can pick up where they left off, already ranked number 2, and if they keep their guys healthy, they got a good chance of making at least to the Final Four, which is going to be different. We're going to talk about that, them being in the Final Four, with all the teams being in Indiana.
Yeah, a little bubble, right, Kate,
basketball.
in Indiana? I know Kate wanted to talk a little bit about the bubble situation that's going to be in Indiana this year.
Yeah, I mean, as you guys know, Indianapolis is already kind of the amateur capital of the world here in sports. A lot of sports fans and obviously a lot of good college basketball. And now they'll kind of follow the steps of NBA season and finals last year and bubble it up. We had March Sadness last year because that's obviously when COVID-19 hit and everything came to a halt. So in an effort to hopefully have March Madness take place this year, instead of having, the regions all set up throughout the country, move everyone to Indianapolis and keep it close and see if you can keep it playing during COVID times. And I think it's great they have this plan in place. We're seeing it affect the schedule here for the Lopes. So I think if they can find a way to let these students have March and let us fans have it, please.
Right, you got to do our brackets, right? And I think maybe they've taken a lesson from the NBA. They were successful at keeping their players COVID-free down in that bubble in Orlando. WNBA as well. They called it the wobble. Were able to finish off their season. It wasn't ideal, but it was at least it provided everyone an opportunity to get some basketball later in the summer. I think they're going to have some success with it.
I would hope.
I like Indianapolis. I've had a couple times hanging out there for extended periods of time. Of course, of my league playing against the Pacers in the playoffs a number of years, and they got some good eats down there.
St. Elmo's Fire.
Mercy! Jaden Stone, coach for Miami. Didn't you spend some time with the Dolphins? Shula's got a steakhouse there that I used to go to quite a bit.
St. Elmo's is a good spot.
Oh yeah, they got that
shrimp cocktail
with that horseradish sauce. Boy, flames come out of your nose. You had so much of that cocktail sauce on one of those shrimps.
16-2 run for GCU.
Guys, they have some good ballpark dogs down there, too. I actually worked for the AAA Indianapolis Indians team there.
I had no idea.
Not only did I do media, but when you're in AAA, you do it all. I also pulled tarp. And guess what? They have a lot of weather in Indianapolis as well.
That's an update I did not know about.
I want some video of Kate pulling the tarp. During a rain delay.
You just don't want to fall because they say keep running so people will trample right over you. I never fell, but I did have to squeegee it off a lot.
Liam Lloyd off the glass. I didn't know that about Kate. I actually broadcast AAA baseball in the old ballpark in Indianapolis with the guy with the tire that had a big statue out in center field out there.
Gotcha. I was at Victory Field. Victory Field. It was a premier ballpark, especially because they don't have a Major League Baseball team. They put a lot into that AAA team.
Yep. Finding out a lot about a lot of things with the 91-49 margin here. Lloyd takes a hit. Jaden Stone is heard from here in the second half, along with many of the Lopes. Bam.
It's time to get away. It's time to escape. It's a new day to play. Your retreat awaits at Talking Stick Resort. Indulge your appetite for excitement with our thrilling table games, our electrifying slots, our outstanding restaurants, and our exceptional accommodations. It's all waiting for you. It's a new day to play at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
Welcome back inside GCU Arena. 11 minutes to go right now. The Lopes on top of Bethesda, 91-49. And it's still loud and crazy and spirited in here in a safe way. Obviously, limited fans in here, smaller crowd. GCU still bringing in that six-man atmosphere as best as they can. But for those of you who are at home who are following along in the action, we thank you for joining us here on Fox 10 Extra. But we also want to make sure you have the Lopes app ready to go, because then you're up to the minute with all Lopes sports. And you want to try our new mobile scratchers, because that's presented by Easy 1040 on the Lope Nation app for a chance to win a GCU fan pack. Everyone who plays will automatically be entered to win a new 55-inch TV or iPad. And guys, the Lopes fan pack is pretty cool. I've been trying it out at each game. You get a little bit of everything to bring you into the atmosphere here at GC Arena when you can't be here. And I'm already getting some fans tweeting and finding me on Insta right now. They've been talking to me, and Scott, I kind of want to throw this out to you. They were saying with the play out there, you talked about it kind of getting to be like a pickup game. And I just want to say, do you like seeing that? Is this fun for the players, or do they need to tighten it up? Obviously, you know, you go back to WAC play next week. So what are your thoughts on when it's game gets a little carried away on the scoreboard? How should the players be playing out there?
You know, as long as they're not getting sloppy, I don't mind them getting out there and free-willing it, because they're getting a lot of guys that are getting opportunities to play in this game that aren't going to get extended minutes. The guys that are on the end of the bench, like your Oak Poes and some of the younger players, they're only going to get about 3 minutes, 4 minutes sometimes when you're playing against a conference opponent. So if they're out there and they're executing and not being sloppy with the basketball and creating a bunch of turnovers or trying behind-the-back passes or things of those nature, then it's fine. But an execution like that, and a double down on the right side for your shooter coming up off the top and he knocks down the three, everybody can live with that. Thank you for the question.
Rashad Smith, 2 of 3 from the arc. Overall, 4 of 5 on the season. Oakpo on Wooten. Wooten cuts into the paint. Doesn't go. Foul called.
Yeah, this young man Wooten has got a cadence to his game that is really special. But he could play on any of these teams in the Western Athletic Conference for sure. He catches the ball with just a confidence and a smoothness that he's able to somehow just get to the side of his defender or throw his defender off balance just enough to be able to create opportunities.
Marky Dixon on the court for Jaden Stone.
Yeah, that's what experience will do for me. You know, the senior experience just allows him little opportunities that other guys that are younger may have not come to realize about their abilities just quite yet.
31 for Wooten. 28 minutes on the floor.
Hey, Oakpo using those pogo stick-like legs around the basket, getting that second opportunity and powering it back up.
And pass by Clark goes out of bounds. Turnover. Under 10 to go, second half. The Lopes in command. Clothen checks back in for Rashad Smith.
Yeah, Rashad probably needs a little blow. I mean, he's not used to one of those heavy minutes that get him on the sidelines there. He's going to come back and play some more. McLaughlin, we didn't get a chance to talk about him probably as much as I'd like to, because he has become kind of an Oscar Freire type player that comes in off the bench that can provide a little bit of everything for the team, especially on the rebounding and defensive side of the ball. He sets a good screen offensively, but really I think where his niche is from this team is on the defensive side, be able to protect the basket, rebound the ball, and use his legs in transition. Coming in for either one of those bigs is a huge bonus for Coach Drew's staff.
Dixon far side, back out to Oakpo. Oakpo near side. McMillan leaves for Liam Lloyd.
A little too much that time by McLaughlin down there. He had about a foot advantage on Reggie Smith. Really, Reggie Smith, they list him at 6'5", but I don't think he's probably closer to 6'3". And McLaughlin went down there and tried to put him in the torture chamber and moved him about 4 feet with one giant burst.
Clark by McLaughlin. Moves left.
There he goes.
Wow. Not going to happen.
Every time, though. It's just that little foot fake to the middle, and he's gone baseline. Or just a little pump fake or head and shoulder fake, and then he's gone again.
Back to the line. 4 of 6 from the line. Now 5 of 7. GCU with 39 field goals. That's the most ever. Had 38 against Mississippi Valley State back in 2015. Most D1 points for the Lopes, 104 versus Omaha in 2015. School record 144 back in 96.
144
against Arizona Christian.
Is that a regulation game or is that an over, like a triple overtime job?
It was like a Loyola Marymount game, right?
Yeah, I remember those days. We played Loyola Marymount when I was at North Carolina in the tournament one time. The final score was like 123 to 100. We were up and down.
Lloyd, bounce pass. Okpo gives himself a little room and a kiss off the glass.
He did give himself. He created a little space by going into the defender and getting to the defender's body, knocked the defender back about 6-8 inches, created that little space that he needed to go from behind the backboard back to front of the backboard and just kissed it off the glass. Real easy like.
Wooten in the corner. Long distance shot by Williams off the mark. Jump ball. Lopes
Wooten's always around that basketball, isn't he? He just missed it. I was thinking he was trying to get his first assist of the game. He kicked it up the outside, and teammate didn't make the shot. He went back in there and was able to tie up the GCU Lopes player.
8 minutes to go at the Lopes, up 98-53. McMillan near side, kick back out Okpo to Liam Lloyd. Lloyd back up top. Dixon long three. Good.
Mikey Dixon, even with the mask on, it doesn't bother him. He still find a way to put the ball in the basket from behind the arc. That's what that, Miller Moore coming over from Oregon and Dixon from St. John's. There's something about playing in those Power 5 conferences that helps these players, even after they've transferred schools. I know the courts and the dimensions are all to the same, but it's new system, new coaching staff. They come in seamlessly. They don't miss a beat.
101. They hit the century mark for the 4th time in their D1 history for GCU. And Sean Miller Moore, how about him? 19 big points in this game as the Lopes are opening it up a very wide margin.
One thing I like about Miller Moore too, he's been very effective. 8 for 8 from the field. He's not those couple of free throws that he's made there to get him that new career high. And, mentioned him coming over from a school like Oregon. He comes over, a new system, new players, and he's been effective right from the very beginning. I just know a player that knows their strengths. When we talk about Wooten knowing his strengths and how to get his shot off and then taking advantage of his abilities. Miller Moore, same sort of thing. Great in transition, high flyer, finishes around the basket. Maybe you get a better stat line than that, Barry. Maybe he'd like that air ball back. The players will rib him about that one. But 8 of 8 from the field, 3 of 6 from the free throw line, 19 points. That's getting it done.
And in about 10 minutes on the floor. Incredible. For every 3-point shot that GCU makes, Copper State Credit Union will make a donation to the Students Inspiring Student Scholarship. For more information, please go to giving.gcu.edu. Alessandro Lever, 4th all-time in scoring in GCU history, as you see him passing Jim Irvine. 1,445 points currently as he inches up.
I thought he was going to get to number 3 tonight. He's only 45 points away for number 3. The way he was scoring. Well, the way he was scoring the first 3 minutes of that basketball game, I think he started out 5 of 5 from the field. It seemed like he was going to go for 50 or 60 points tonight, but coach decided to put him on ice and give some of these other guys an opportunity. Of course, you got to remember we'll be back on the floor at 3 o'clock tomorrow or 2 o'clock tomorrow to do it again.
Great for the full bench to kind of knock the rust off. See how they respond as they approach this back-to-back scenario that they're facing in conference play. They were successful at Tarleton with back-to-back victories. Kate will have the pregame show right here at 1:30. Hope you'll join us. Driving baseline, right shots.
I like that. Just swing it around the perimeter, catch the defense a step slow as they try to close out. Shard Smith, he just puts it down and goes to the basket. You got some perimeter players that really can explode to the hoop.
Wooten weaving his way. And pass. Let's go to caller number 3. Kate, you have a question?
I do. I am a long-time listener, big fan here.
Appreciate it.
No, actually, just kind of touching on those back-to-back games. Scott, just kind of from a player standpoint, what is it like? What is the routine when you're in it? Because I found it very interesting when listening to the Drew brothers talk over the weekend. Just Scott Drew just talking about how difficult it is in those away games when you're playing back-to-back to come out and try and get 2 wins. He was saying it really sometimes doesn't matter the opponent, it's just that routine. So kind of if you could shed some light into what a player goes through when it's those quick turnarounds like that in basketball. We're accustomed to it sometimes in other sports like baseball, but you don't always see it in basketball.
Yeah, it's really hydration and rest. That's the most important thing. You got to get a lot of fluids in your system so you're not cramping up the next time that you step on the floor. And generally in the NBA, they have a rule you can't play. You can't have 2 start times with less than 24 hours. But the Lopes won't even get the advantage of that because they go from an evening game to an afternoon game. So really important to get a lot of fluids with electrolytes in them and get up off your feet. And they'll have some sort of a walkthrough tomorrow. It won't be the full-blown shoot-around. You just saw this team. But they'll have a little chalk probably before the basketball game where they make sure that everyone's on the same page.
Well, they've hit for about 6 points during that brief conversation. A new D1 record. They surpassed the 104. They're at 110 now. Wooten, long distance, that's off the mark. Labor 19 minutes tonight.
This one here again by McMillan there. I mean, all these guys, he loves it. It seems like between McMillan and Miller Moore, Oscar Freire, you got some high flyers on this squad.
Lots of smiles all around. 11 players scoring for GCU tonight. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in double figures. Blackshear with 9. Around the WAC, Ashmore and Midgard named Player of the Week. To those back-to-back victories at Tarleton, had the double-double in Game 2. Seattle, Riley Grigsby leading in scoring at 18.6 and minutes at 35.2. And Chicago State, the men's basketball suspended season. They were scheduled to play GCU tonight and tomorrow. It was announced they'll be leaving the WAC in 2022. Big press conference at NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. 4 teams from Texas: Abilene Christian, Lamar, Sam Houston State, Stephen F. Austin, along with Southern Utah adding that 3rd team, Dixie State and Utah Valley, to the Western Athletic Conference. Those 4 Texas teams will probably be joining the WAC later this year for the 2021-22 season.
That's exciting news right there, and the conference is really building its brand.
You guys thoughts too. I was enjoying talking to President Mueller in our pregame show about this WAC expansion and just how he really, his mind, first of all, his business mind is so in tune, and obviously he's a big sports fan too. But he was just talking about the growth in population you're seeing in the states like Texas, Arizona, Utah, and just how those states, growing population, the economy, they have a lot to pour back into the economy, into sports, and how, you know, they were very selective, and President Mueller was spearheading that expansion and just selective in which universities they were going after. They want this to be successful, and these universities are bringing into the fold now, you know, a lot of strategy behind it. It's going to be exciting in the next couple of years as it all unfolds.
Yeah, Kate, I had a chance to talk to him. We were watching the first half of the women's game. They played New Mexico State, tough game and an overtime game, but he was saying that this new conference that they put together would be right up there with the West Coast Conference. So it really made some moves, and he's really excited about it.
Definitely President Mueller instrumental with the expansion of the conference. Also, interim athletic director Jamie Boggs played a huge role as well. Driving in the paint, Lloyd. Okpo trying to get a hand on it. Four Flames underneath. Wooten comes up the court with it. Off the mark. 4.5 to go. Some of these guys are going to talk about hydration. They're going to have to get that Gatorade.
Well, I mean,
seeing a lot of minutes.
Sure. Yes. The funny thing is, all the starters are going to be fresh. They won't have heavy minutes in a typical game. I mean, this is a 4 or 5 point game. Those guys would still be on the floor here with under 5 minutes to go in the game. So, yes, they'll be tired. They'll be a little sore. They'll have to get their rest and their hydration. But it won't be like they've logged, 30, 32, 34. Sometimes we see Blackshirt Jr., he has to go 38 minutes in a basketball game. I don't have my stats monitor in front of me, but I would fathom to guess he hasn't played 20 minutes tonight. No player over 20 minutes, as a matter of fact, tonight.
Now Blackshirt averaging 33 minutes a game. So those guys will be fresh, no doubt. You saw that map of the new look West. Whoa, man.
That was deep. That had to be 28 feet.
36 for Wooten. Better be in an ice bath after this one.
Oh, Wooten catches his basketball.
Look at that.
I take that back. That's got to be closer to 32 feet out there on the floor. Wooten on limited range. And I get it. The shot clock's winding down, and you got to get it out. But that was beautiful.
Timeout on the floor with the Lopes up 110 to 56. That's right.
When life seems uncertain, there's one credit union that provides both dollars and cents. Copper State Credit Union. With solutions that focus on our members, you can take advantage of competitive rates, free cashback checking, and local attentive service. Uplifting our community is a standard we live by. That's why thousands of your Arizona neighbors rely on us. Strengthening Arizona families through financial empowerment. That's Copper State Credit Union.
From reimagining the way you work to reassessing what you need, you've changed the way you do business. And now, so have we. With no annual contracts and flexible internet and voice solutions, you'll have what you need to get back to business. Rethink, reconnect, reimagine. Switch to Cox Business today.
Barry Battelle, Scott Williams, Kate Longworth here at GCU Arena, 110 to 56. D1 record for points. These two teams back at it tomorrow. Kate will have the pregame show at 1:30. Big games tomorrow.
Woo, not baby.
And in addition to the one we're going to be at here at GCU against Bethesda.
Oh, yeah.
The Packers, your Packers in action. Can they do it?
Yeah, Green Bay's taking on the Rams. Now, Rams got some defensive players that are going to be looking to take the head off of Aaron Rodgers' shoulders. But
who's Kurt?
But we're hoping that they can't handle. We want the Lambeau Field advantage.
The frozen
tundra. That's right. So I got big excitement and hope that my Packers can get it done. The Rams looked pretty good last game they played, but I'm thinking the Packers, with that, what they say, with that home field advantage, can somehow pull it out. It's going to be a tough one. All the games are going to be tough, though. New Orleans, Tampa Bay, Breeze, and Tom Brady. That's two future Hall of Famers, two old heads, battling it out. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on there. And then you got your Bills, right? And who are they playing? They're playing the Ravens.
Jackson. I'm a little worried. Although there might be some lake effects coming over to Orchard Park, slowing Lamar down a little bit.
Yeah. You know, Lamar uses his legs real well. I don't think he's a confident passer when he's pressured. That Bills defense pretty darn good.
Yeah, they're having a lot of fun in Buffalo. First time in the playoffs since '95 when Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas and Andre Reed and Bruce Smith are having fun.
Yeah, and then the last matchup, Kansas City, reigning Super Bowl champs against the upstart Cleveland Browns that haven't been in the NFL playoffs in, 20 years?
But they're just happy to be there, right?
I think they were happy to get that win against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And they're probably done.
Stefanski doing a good job there in his first year.
He's a first-time coach there?
Yeah, he came over from the Vikings.
I didn't know that. Yeah, he's done a good job.
Seems like he's...
When they lost Odell Beckham, I think the team, they were probably thinking that they weren't going to be their year.
Yeah.
But they've kept the young quarterback. I'm trying to think of his name there. Does all those
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield.
Funny, isn't he?
They kept him. Every time I turn the TV on, he's in a commercial.
Yeah.
They've kept him under control. He's taking care of the basketball, the football a little bit better, not throwing any interceptions.
No.
And
good running attack, Chubb. And
I like Chubb. So they've done well. But if I'm picking two teams to go to the Super Bowl, Green Bay and Buffalo, that could be good.
Yeah.
What about the Ravens?
Could be.
That game tomorrow, I don't see Kansas City going back-to-back Super Bowls. I just don't. They're probably the most talented team, but I just don't think it's going to happen for them.
Taking a chance.
I didn't know if they'd get 120 points this basketball game, but look like they're going to stop all over 120 and keep on moving. Hatcher hurt his left arm or elbow, maybe even. He's gone. Yeah. He walked straight off the court and back to the locker room area.
Eligibility left, Scott?
Oh no.
Yeah,
that's a tough one. They only traveled 8 guys over here. If he can't come back tomorrow, that'll leave him with just 7. It's tough. They were back there, rub some dirt on it, and getting right for tomorrow.
Can't say enough about the effort, though, early on.
All these guys.
Wooten is phenomenal tonight.
They played hard. They don't scoreboard watch. A lot of teams, they fall down by 20, 30, 40 points. They start watching the scoreboard and just stop playing. And this team, they've tried. Listen, they're not as good as the Lopes, but they played hard. They didn't worry about that. They competed.
Yep.
And if you're Coach Drew and his staff, that's what you need. When you got a team in your conference that drops 2 games on you, you got to get a filler team. You want a team that's going to give it their all for 40 minutes, and this Flames team certainly has done that.
Ethan Spry in the game for the Lopes. Clark off the mark. Spry. Good hustle by Spry, but he had that called.
Well, I like that. I mean, see, this is the kind of thing, Kate, you asked me that question about how the guy's going to play when it starts to become more of a pickup game. That's the effort you want to see. That's just 2 guys going for the basketball and help him up off the floor, let him go to the line, shoot his free throws. I got my first year at North Carolina. We were a solid team. We were number one in the country. We ended up winning 32 games that season. I didn't see a lot of minutes. So one of the things you could do, and we blew a lot of teams out like this, you're not afraid to commit that foul because it stops the clock and it gives you a couple extra ticks to maybe go down the other end and get you another bucket.
Coach was on to you, wasn't he?
Oh, I'm sure they knew what was going on. Yeah. I wasn't the only one doing it.
Yeah. Oh, you got to be kidding me, man.
Wooten still out there knocking down threes.
It's like GCU 118, Wooten 59. Pretty close.
Yeah, he's had a phenomenal performance tonight. I'd be interested to see if he might have to ice his elbow down going into the game tomorrow.
Hey, that's Spry!
Yeah, he loves the three. Look at the bench. The bench loves it. They told him to shoot the last one. He was a little hesitant. And that's why he came back. He wasn't hesitant. He had more of a rhythm, and he knocked it down. 121 points for the Lopes tonight. 62 on that three-pointer there for the Bethesda Flames. I mean, this was a game, obviously, the Lopes needed. Not the competition that they probably that keeps them ready for the Western Athletic Conference, but certainly gives them an opportunity to get everybody to get out there, a chance to play and have good. Those guys work hard in practice. It's nice to see them get out there and get some minutes. And they're going to get more minutes tomorrow. Look at they're giving it to old Spry.
Tied for the 12th highest scoring output in school history. 121-62, the final score.
Bench loves it. What a performance. All-around performance by all the guys that got a chance to get out on the floor tonight and have some fun.
D1 points scored record, surpassing the 104.
Let's, okay, normally they go to half court and do a prayer, and I think they're, thanking the fans, thanking the dance squad and the band.
Cheerleaders.
Yeah, it looks like they've invited the Bethesda Flames to half court to take part in their post-game ritual of saying a blessing after the game.
Yep. Bethesda, a Christian university based in Anaheim, California. Casey Shaw. Great tradition started by Coach Drew and the staff here, representing the Christian mission of this university. So, I think it's Ethan Spry's birthday tomorrow. Hits the big three to close things out. And then the birthday boy, Oscar Freyer.
Win on your birthday is always a sweet way to end the night. Yeah, end the day, rather.
10 points on the night.
Some high-flying dunks, block shots.
Let's send it down to Kate Longmore.
All right, thank you guys. And Oscar, it's been a while, but it's so great to have you on the other side of those headsets. First of all, happy birthday, 23 years old. You go out there, score 10 points, and the team gets the big victory with 121 points tonight. What was fueling your personal success along with your teammates?
Just going out here and executing our game plan, what Coach told us to do, and just being prepared. I feel like just thanking God and giving God the opportunity to come out here and play our all, and just having fun.
And you guys were able to open WAC play with those back-to-back wins on the road. How important was it to go set the tone from this conference action and get those victories at Tarleton?
We know that we can be beaten by any team on any night, so just coming out here and getting a win and making sure that we accomplish this win is big time for our program. And
for you personally, what does it mean to be back out on the court in the Lopes uniform? I know you were missed.
Man, it means everything to me, man. This is my home. I love it here.
All right, well, keep up the action and keep up the great play. And it's a quick turnaround, so go get the Gatorade. I know it's your birthday, but you know it's going to be a short celebration.
Thank you.
You can celebrate tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, happy birthday, Oscar Freyer, 23 years old. He had 10 points tonight. And Oh, yeah, the team, they got the W. The Lopes over the Flames, 121-62. We'll be back with more to recap the action tonight here at GCU Arena.
Once you've been to hell and back, there's not much left to fear. When the boogeyman goes to sleep at night, he checks under his bed for me. Have you ever wondered who Waldo's hiding from? Me. Not even the Cougars of LA are enough to scare me. But if I get into an accident, I'm calling the boss, Sweet James. If you've been hurt, don't back down. Call Sweet James.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
Back at GCU Arena where the Lopes are victorious. 121-62, a new D1 points scored record for GCU against the Bethesda Flames. Barry Butel, Scott Williams back with you, and this game had plenty of dunks, Scott.
Yes, this was a fun one to be one of those wing runners or the inside guys or getting out in transition, banging that ball through the hoop. I just like the unselfishness of this basketball team. Man, a lot of guys had opportunities to get layups themselves, and they fed it off to their wing runners and let them fly it down and reward those guys for using their wheels, finishing above the rim. 31 assists tonight. I think that shows unselfish basketball play.
49 field goals, shot 70%.
Yeah,
and just about everybody got some playing time.
Making that extra pass, moving it around. The chemistry on this squad, we mentioned it early on when they got off to that 4-0 start, just developed really quickly, even during that rough patch where they dropped those three close basketball games. They didn't miss a beat. They didn't splinter, didn't fragment. They stayed together, got 2 road wins, and then came out tonight and had some fun.
Yeah, just a little bit of sloppiness there when the kind of game started to get away, but they kind of honed that back in. Alessandro Laver, though, our Copper State Credit Union player of the game, 19 points in some 19 minutes.
Dude was a stud and just really got it started early on. Hit his first 8 field goals to start this basketball game. Uses his size around the basket well against the smaller opponents, but also be able to stretch the defense out to that 3-point line as well and knock down the long ball. You can't say enough about Laver because he's not even leading the team in scoring. He's just that unselfish a player. He doesn't really care to score the basketball. It's not his most important thing to him, but he's got such a good scoring ability when he's knocking things down like that. So many guys have to focus into him. It allowed so many other players to get their games going, not only Midgard, but Mueller Moore, Oscar Freire, Blackshear knocked down some shots, and everybody sees that ball going through the basket. Next thing you know, you go from 67 points in one half, and you drop another 55 plus points in the second half. So just a great job, team effort.
Yeah, Sean Miller Moore, you mentioned him. He had 19 points in the game, 8 of 8 from the field. This kid from Oregon State, the transfer, looking sharp.
Well, you could tell early on when Miller Moore had some opportunities to go in for Mikey Dixon, when Mikey Dixon got banged up a little bit, that the kid knows how to play within a system. It just took him a moment to figure out that system, and now that he's got a good grasp and knowledge of it, sky's the limit for what he's going to do the rest of this season in a Lopes uniform.
Let's revisit the Sanderson Ford 3 keys to the game in this one as they return back.
Yeah, I mean, look out below. I mean, well, you saw that dunk package that they had, 68 points in the paint to 12 for Bethesda. They'll have to try to tighten that up, maybe go to more zone defense tomorrow, try to keep the Lopes out of that painted area. The snatch and grab, I don't know any half-fast break points they had tonight, but 41 rebounds, 20 in the first half, 21 in the second half, so very consistent there. And then just coming home and having some fun tonight. Executed right from the very beginning. They weren't lackadaisical to start this game. 10 points in the first 73 seconds there? Yeah. And that was impressive.
It was, and they're going to be right back at it here. 2 p.m. tip, 1:30 pregame against Bethesda. Back-to-back format. That's what really the purpose of these games are, with the vacancy by Chicago State not playing this season. But they'll have to rebound. But as you mentioned during the course of the game, I mean, these starters really didn't see a lot of time. They got to be pretty fresh.
Yeah, no one played 20 minutes tonight. That's going to be good. They go out there and throw them out there for another 20 minutes tomorrow. Empty your bench once again. Everyone's going to have a good time on Saturday night.
All right, and then it's at Dixie State before returning here at GCU Arena later this month against New Mexico State. But that'll do it from here at GCU Arena, where tonight the Lopes set a new D1 scoring mark against Bethesda with a victory of 121-62. Please join us again tomorrow afternoon starting at 1:30 for the Lopes pregame show. But until then, for Kate Longworth, Scott Williams, and our entire crew, I'm Barry Butel, wishing you a wonderful evening.